Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on this.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
Possessed, it's like Evil Dead. Hockey tonight, Oilers-Avalanche at Rogers Place. It's going to start at 7:30. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Jason Milne and I are with you until 6 o'clock. We'll talk about this game, some other storylines related to the Stanley Cup playoffs, which are going to start. My goodness, we're a week from now, we'll be talking about playoff games. Maybe not an Oilers. Well, there'll be an Oilers game somewhere around next Monday, so we'll be talking about that. Pretty exciting stuff. Rory McIlroy won the Masters. That was a really interesting final round to watch. Jason Milne has a bit of a movie review from something we talked about going into last weekend. You saw Mr. Goalie, so we'll dive into that, of course, as well. The Avalanche are 52-16-11. They will be without Kadri, Makar, and Manson tonight. They will also be without head coach Jared Bednar. We'll get more on the Avalanche story from Connor McGahey in about an hour. He's their play-by-play voice. The Oilers are 40-30-10. So you should just end after 80 games. You can get a nice, even record like that. It's how easy is that to add up? 40-30-10. No Drysdale, no Hyman, questionable for Thursday. Also no Drysdale. You'll hear some clips from him today. Jason Dickinson remains out. Not sure if and when he'll be back in the first round. Max Jones injured as well. He's out 3 to 4 weeks. So Ike Howard will play tonight. So a bit of a depleted Oilers lineup. Ingram against Wedgwood is your expected goaltending matchup. But a lot to get to about this game. Milne, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Reid.
It's good to see you.
Good to be seen.
So you had a weekend because you were talking about your wife.
Yeah.
It was your oldest daughter went to an elite level basketball tournament.
Yes.
In Regina over the weekend. So you got to be the Home Alone, not the Home Alone dad. Wait, what were you? Mr. Mom. You were like the Tom Hanks movie, Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom.
I guess.
Yeah, we had a great time. We just hung out. We watched all the games. All the games were live streamed.
Right.
So we'd watch those as a family. My mother-in-law would come over. And then, capped it off last night with a total 100% dad meal.
Okay, good.
Leftovers.
Good.
Heated up with cheese on top.
What were the leftovers again?
Gnocchi.
Oh,
and my wife made like a yam. The easiest way to describe it would be like shepherd's pie, but with yam.
Okay.
And it was so good. And she left a lot of it. So we were eating that.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we finished that up. We fried up some cheese. The favorite activity of ours.
Just do a little bit of cheese frying.
Cheese frying,
in the smoker?
Baby. No. Just put them on a hot plate. Just fry them up in a pan and watched the Back to the Future. They had never seen Back to the Future.
Oh, nice.
It's not something we would typically watch as a family.
Well, and made long before their time.
Yes, 1985 to be exact.
Yeah.
So
that must seem like ancient history to your kid, because your youngest child was what, born in
2016.
Yeah, like he can't. So I mean, well, you were born in 81.
81.
I was born in 7. So that's like showing them a movie for us that came out in 1950, basically.
Yeah, but it still holds.
It's an entertaining movie. What did they think of it?
They were locked in the whole time.
They loved it.
Loved it so much that we finished at about 7:45, and I said, "Look, we've had some late nights. You have school tomorrow. You got to get to school. You got to get to bed. So after Back to the Future, we have an early bedtime."
Right.
And then, of course, the discussion of, well, there's a second one, right, Dad? I said, yes, there is, but don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, let's watch the first 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And I cracked. So we started watching the first 15 minutes, to which I was, I was not the most loved fella in the room when I said, okay, this is enough. But now they really want to watch the second one.
Right.
It holds up. It's a great movie.
It is. I'd say, I mean, from what I remember of the Back to the Futures, I think the first one, as I remember it, is by far the best. Maybe not by far. I remember seeing two, like the first one I've probably seen more than once, or I've seen bits and pieces of it. I don't know if I can say the same about 2 and 3.
Well, the first one I think is the best. The second one is close second.
Right.
The third one really falls off. That's the Western one.
The Western one.
But the second one, I don't know if I really want my kids to watch that one yet, because there's some adult things, with Biff.
He's a little pretty mean in that one, isn't he?
He's mean. He throws the wife around, and I think there's prostitutes and stuff. So I don't know if they're ready for that.
Yeah, the first one, I would
just
consider...
watched the first part where he was like hoverboarding over the water.
Oh, okay.
And then that was about it.
Yes, I don't remember that. I would consider the first Back to the Future to be a true classic, especially of that era.
For sure.
Where there was a lot of science fiction and what are our lives going to be like when technology is really more prevalent.
Yeah.
It didn't go quite in that direction. But that's what a what if where I feel as if, I mean, you and I like to just sit and talk, and sometimes we'll be just nattering about something, and one of us will be like, oh, they should make a movie about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the idea for Back to the Future, somebody was like, what if a car went really fast and went back in time? And the other person would have been like, God, why didn't they think about that in 1967? And we're thinking about it here in 1985 or whatever.
Right.
Like, just a great premise for a movie, great character. Now, you know who originally played Marty McFly?
I don't.
Eric Stoltz.
Oh,
and
really?
Apparently he was playing it a little too much like a drama. And they were like, no, we don't need you, not moping around.
Really?
But yeah. So they actually, I think probably even on YouTube, you can see scenes shot with Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is Crispin Glover like so polarizing? Was that like his only real movie? Or
No, he did other stuff, but I think he was known for being, or is known. I don't know if he was a jerk or just sort of unusual. And there was always one of those things where like, how much is an act and how much is he really not a nice person?
I see.
Like I think he was the bad guy in one of the Charlie Angels movies, like the one with Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu.
Oh, really?
And Drew Barrymore. I think he was the bad guy in one of those. I know there was an appearance on Letterman where he was acting really odd and did a big kick and almost hit Letterman in the head. And it was like, okay, is he on something? Is he joking around? But I think Letterman was the type of guy where even if it was a performance that he didn't think it was cool.
Well, so the reason I ask is because if you look at that movie and his acting,
right,
I think it's terrible.
Right.
Like, I don't think he's he's not a revered actor in that role.
Right.
I think he's overdoing it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe there is something to what you're just saying there, because I thought of all the actors in that movie,
right,
his character, McFly Sr., it was just weird.
Right.
I don't really appreciate his talent in that movie.
So anyway, that's cool. You showed that movie to your kids, and your kids were open to watching it.
Sure.
I mean, we work with some younger men here that we have an age gap of 20 to 25 years. I know I'm older than you, but I consider you and I similar. Even with a 7-year gap. It's pretty, there's the odd thing I might say from the early 80s where they'll be like, no, but we generally had similar pop culture things or exposed to the same things growing up. But sometimes with Coob or Benny or even Trev, there might be something like, oh, you should watch this movie from 1988. And I can see, they'll be like, yeah, Reid, but I can see in their eyes, they're just
zero
glazed
interest.
over. They're like, Reid, there's no way in hell they're ever going to watch that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You old fart.
Yeah, I really am. But Back to the Future, a true classic.
It is.
So good.
That's one of the 80s movies I enjoyed. One of the few. But
I wonder where that would rank amongst 80s movies.
Ooh. Well, there's a lot of different ways to go there, but I'd say for how it stands up and for just a level of fun and creativity, it'd be pretty high. Yeah, probably top 20, I would say.
Boy, we've meandered.
Yeah, that's okay. We do have an Oilers game tonight. We are going to talk a lot about that, about not having Drysdale, Hyman, Dickinson, the impact of that. We're going to get into, of course, playoff possibilities, the playoff format. I've heard a lot of complaining about the playoff format. I'm going to complain about the complaining.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the mood I'm in today, everybody.
So if you complain about the complainers, are you actually a supporter? You know what I mean?
I guess I'm a supporter of complaining in general, but not that particular.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I must say, can I just add something here?
Yes.
When we set up the show, we go through everything and we say, okay, we're good here, we're good here. When it got to the playoff format debate, which will be coming up for buying or selling, presented by Damon Bunting, Reid got very agitated.
Though there was something else.
Almost as agitated as I've ever seen.
I think I was more agitated about something else you brought up. Teammates? Well, just remember the teammate argument?
Nope.
Okay, we'll talk about it. I think that's when I started.
Okay.
But
yes.
But I'm glad you brought. We'll get to that as well. That's going to be able to
Reid's
hold a
going to be
trophy
pretty
discussion.
excited here in the coming hour. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Animated.
Leon Drysdale skated and spoke today. Now he's not going to. He's not going to play. Drysdale talking a little bit about his availability for the Edmonton Oilers.
I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, there's steps that I have to follow, and there's certain things that I have to be able to do, and I'm not there yet right now. So we'll see how that is by the end of the week or whenever game one would be.
You've shown that you can play through stuff if you need to, but is this sort of one where you got to be careful too? You don't want to necessarily bang yourself up more.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certain things that you can play through, and other things that are just, you have to think about your future and the team's future a little bit. So I think our staff and our medical staff and myself, we know how to handle these situations, and we know when it's good to go and when it's not. And we'll just, like I said, take it one day at a time, and hopefully it works out.
I mean, look, we know that it doesn't sound like he's going to be available for the start of the series. Hopefully he returns during the first round. Wasn't a lot on Dickinson today, but we'll get into Knobloch's exact comment as we move through it. We'll dive into this more extensively later, Jay, but how, if there's no Dickinson and no Drysdale in the first round, regardless of the opponent, how much does that change the Oilers' plight in terms of them winning a round?
Oh, quite heavily.
Right.
And I'm, special teams included, and maybe primarily on special teams.
Right.
Because Leon Draisaitl, as we all have learned during his injury time off, this power play has been a shell of its former self.
Yeah.
Jason Dickinson brings, drives a third line for this team that was really starting to build some positive momentum that is now gone, and he's just a great defensive asset. He's very very calculated with what he does, and he's got a lot of experience. So I would say, Reid, if you were to say that the Oilers with Draisaitl and Dickinson and Hyman full lineup, they'd be plus or minus 150 to win their first series.
Sure.
Without those two, especially if it's the full length of the series, that would be more of a pick-em, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the great, I guess you can't call it an X factor, but the Edmonton Oilers still have Connor McDavid.
True.
Right? Connor McDavid can drive the bus at times himself. Now, he'll need to, and the other players on the team will have to step it up as well, which I think they're capable of.
And maybe it's a very small maybe now, a goaltender who can keep you in games.
Good point.
They lost 1-0 to LA a couple of days ago. I thought Connor Ingram was excellent. Forsberg, I guess you could say, was better. He was also busier and didn't have to face a breakaway from the other team's best shooter.
Yeah, if you're allowing one goal per game, you're in a good place if you're
right.
the Edmonton Oilers.
And Ingram made a couple saves late in the second period of that game that really hadn't been made by any other goaltender all season long. Like finding the puck, moving across, getting a piece of it, keeping your team down a goal.
Where that game could have been put away quite easily near the end of the second,
right?
He gave them life for the third, which they tried to take advantage of.
LA, yeah.
They outplayed LA. They just didn't get the goal. And for the Oilers, who score goals quite well, hasn't been a problem for this team. I don't think that's something you should necessarily dwell on or worry about.
All right, you want to get in touch, 780-218-9999 is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't forget about the Tap 25 happy hour. They have $5.25 drinks, all beers, bottle and draft, import and domestic, select premium well highballs, and select premium wine served at Tap 25, Center Bar, Onyx, and on the casino floor. This is available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m., rivercreeresort.com. is their website. They also have the River Cream mobile app. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com, and you can post in the nasty chat if you're taking us in on YouTube this afternoon. Now, I want to tell you this. If you're on YouTube and you have not yet subscribed to the Edmonton Sports Talk channel, please do so, and also give this program a thumbs up on YouTube.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Maybe you're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. We appreciate that as well. Remember to spread the word about EST. Let other people know how they can find us and really how easy it is to consume, to stream the station. It is an Oilers game day, so we're going to have the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Hudson's Canada's Pub, featuring $10 tankards and $6 tequila shots. You can also grab the $23.99 adult Happy Meal. That has drive-in burger, fries, choice of beer, limited edition hockey puck bottle opener. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. So throughout the course of the show, we'll give you some clues. First person to correctly guess the mystery athlete gets a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Only guesses texted in to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999, are accepted, and maximum 3 guesses per phone number. So you kind of got to, figure out when you're confident taking a guess.
A lot of people think they could just nail it right off the bat.
Which is fine. You might be able to.
And I know why. I know why they do that. Because if they get it, they know that puts you into a tailspin.
Glory.
For 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, you get absolute glory.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first clue anyway is Flyers. First clue is Flyers. Pretty straightforward.
Somebody is talking about Dickinson in the chat. Do you find it odd that there has been really nothing said thus far about Jason Dickinson? Or do you think that's positive? That maybe this injury isn't as long-term as we had thought?
Here's the clip. This is Knobloch, so he's speaking here on both Jones and Dickinson.
Yeah, Jones will be out 3 to 4 weeks. Dickinson is can't really have a exact timeline, but he will not be playing these next 2 games, and then we'll reevaluate after the regular season's done.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a positive, right?
I think that's a positive.
Probably a positive.
Because if there's no exact timeline, that means that nothing was...
He could be fine for the playoffs.
At least this is my opinion, is that nothing was broken.
Right.
Because if there's a broken bone, there's a timeline.
Yes.
Right? If there's a contusion or if there's
pain,
well, who knows? So
right.
I actually take that as very much so a positive.
Right.
Because, he has proven to be a very important piece, cog in this wheel for the Oilers.
All right, so first clue, Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game is Flyers. We'll give another clue, probably around 4 o'clock. It's also time here for the afternoon headlines. They are presented by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. That's another green jacket for Rory. Hey, my brother-in-law had a green jacket. He lost it in a poker game. Don't ask what happened to his pants. The locals take on the Mountain Men tonight. Dandy Dry, Jay Dickey, and old reliable Zach Hyman are all too banged up to play. Hey, is this a hockey team or an episode of MASH? Well, how about this? Today is National Scrabble Day. Hey, Jason Milne, is that an R-O-C-K-E-T in your pocket? Or are you just H-A-P-P-Y to see me? I'm Chet Palmer.
Oh, Chet. Wow, what a find. National Scrabble Day. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Jay Dickey. I don't know that we've heard Jay Dickey yet. I know his old reliable Zach Hyman's been around, and obviously Dandy Dry. I like Jay Dickey. Solid. Reference to MASH. That was on in the 80s, wasn't it?
I think late 70s into the 80s.
Yeah.
Let's check here.
For those of you that are wondering, Chet spelt rocket in your pocket, or are you just happy, H-A-P-P-Y, to see me?
MASH ran from September of 72 to February of 83. Great run.
Okay, so I must have been watching reruns then when I was coming up.
I would think so,
because I wouldn't have been
on what we were just talking about. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that would still be considered one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Now, Chet did sort of steal something there that is also in the off-topic topic. He must have heard you talking about it. The off-topic topic for William Huff since 1952. William Huff is providing industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536.
Okay. Well, Chet said it. Scrabble. It's National Scrabble Day.
Right.
So we wanted to do something around the topic of board games to commemorate Scrabble. And
Right.
I mean, I think Scrabble's got to be up there. It would be a top tier board game.
Yeah, and one most people would know what it is, probably have played. And even if you haven't played Scrabble, I think you would know how it works.
Right. And inevitably, at some point during a game or a round of Scrabbles, somebody's going to try lay a word that is going to be challenged by somebody else sitting at the table and say, that's not a real word, or that's not the spelling, or
You'll take somebody's space where they were just going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are wondering, this is the off-topic topic for William Huff. What family board game always causes issues, fights, arguments?
Yeah.
Which family board game has the best ability for your family to go sideways?
Right.
We asked Dusty this.
Yeah.
Which was actually a pretty crazy answer. He told us some good stories. But Cranium.
Oh, yeah.
Cranium
that was an interesting one.
Would get the juices flowing at the old Nielsen house.
Because Cranium, I have played Cranium. It's been years, but it has
all play.
It has a trivia thing. I think it has a charades element. Didn't have Play-Doh where you had to like make something out of Play-Doh. Might have had a Pictionary element.
Right.
So I can see
Cranium's
that.
a great game.
Yeah. We should get Cranium for the office.
Yeah, we should do a show.
I wonder if
from that.
Magical Athlete could lead to any arguments here.
You'd have to be a real jackass.
Yeah. I mean, you can obviously mess up somebody, but it's kind of like, what do you want me to do? The thing that came to mind for me is, so, my cousins, James and Chris, who I've met, and you met last summer when they were here. I remember when we were quite young. I mean, I was probably, it was before I was 10, so they might have been almost teenagers. Do you remember that game Mousetrap?
Yeah.
And I don't remember much about playing Mousetrap, except that I don't think we ever finished a game of Mousetrap. Now, again, we were all young. I don't think I totally understood the rules. I think I would do my thing and they would tell me where to move or what to do. But it seems to me one of them would usually storm out of the room and then the game would just go unfinished. And I don't know what it would be about, because weren't there some little dexterity things you had to do?
We have Mouse.
Okay.
And my daughters play it.
Okay.
You know why they play it? So they can set it up and knock it over so the mousetrap falls.
Right. That's like okay.
And then the green guy jumps off the diving
but
board.
are there other little things?
There is. I don't know if they've ever actually played the game start to finish or correctly.
Okay.
Right? Speaking of another one now, I haven't played a board game, but I know there's been like Monopoly. Coob said Monopoly. We've all been down Monopoly where, somebody's doing really good and they're being a jerk and they're putting up hotels and they're just punishing you for living.
Right.
It gets old.
That gets really bad for my friends. When I play with them, they don't want to play Monopoly anymore because I'm the guy who gets lucky for no reason. And we play the online version, so you could set certain rules already ahead of the game. It'll automatically play it for you. You don't have to really learn the rules before playing.
Oh, that's sad.
And it's got like a live board and stuff. It is a bit sad. I know, but you kind of learn it along the way. For those who don't know, it's a pretty simple game, of course, but I've had people go to sleep because of the game. It was that bad.
Yeah.
It was, late in the night, you're on your Xbox and it's like, hey boys, let's play some Monopoly online. Okay. And they hop on, they're like, okay, that's it, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Well, that
And they
sucks
shut down
too,
their
because you can't flip the board.
Yeah, you can't physically flip.
That's the piece that you want that. You want to find the one person that'll actually flip the board, ruin all the board games, the hotels, the homes, the war chest in the middle, the community, all the cards are flying. That's a night.
And the game's over.
And it's over. Well, Dave in Section T, Monopoly. My wife refuses to play with me. I don't make easy deals.
That's great.
Jeremy says a board game that kids always want to play, but it's always chaos and causes a fight, is a game called Loot and Loaded.
Okay.
A bit of a deep cut, but I'm more classic one that causes fights is Labyrinth. Labyrinth.
Okay. Interesting. This is good.
Brandon says we had to take a several-year hiatus from playing Settlers of Catan. The accusations of collusion got pretty heated.
That's awesome.
I'm surprised. Risk is getting a lot of love here.
Risk is coming in too. Okay.
Confession.
Yeah,
I've never played the game of Risk.
I have a confession too. I don't think I've ever played the board game version. I might have played a computer game version. Yeah.
I'm in that same boat.
We didn't own Risk. We had Monopoly. Balderdash was a hit.
Oh yeah.
Cranium was up there. But the one that brings my house down currently, if you can believe it, gumdrops and jujubes and all the goodness of Candyland itself. No, not at the Milne house. You spin this spinner and you can be 3 spaces from the end of the game. There's absolutely no strategy to this game of Candyland. It's a spin and move game.
Right.
Okay, Coop the Corgi could play it. But you can be 3 spaces away from finishing the game and flick a jujube and you go right back to the start of the game.
Right.
And that just, because inevitably one of the girls will get on a hot streak, kind of like you, Coop, and get lucky. And the other girls will just keep getting knocked back. And then they're accusing her of, cheating or spinning with, certain, you got to make sure they watch the spin. It's incredible.
Right.
It's very entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. And then that one leads to conflict.
Oh, big
But
time.
it's just luck. Like no one's actually
But
doing
that's
anything.
okay, because the problem is that one of the daughters has more luck than the others, and it causes a lot of grief.
Okay. So that was our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since it's National Scrabble Day, what board game in your family or relationship always leads to bad blood or pouting or a fight or something like that? 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube as well. Remember, if you are taking us in on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the show, we do it for fun, but it also helps build the algorithm for the show. We want to get to at least 100 thumbs every show. So click that thumbs up. You just have to click it once. That's all you have to do. And then we also have something pretty cool. You can click the share button. The share button. And send the show link off to somebody else via email or text, or several people, and encourage them to get involved. We will have Connor McGahey in about half an hour, play-by-play voice for the Colorado Avalanche. More comments from Leon Drysdale and from Chris Knobloch. And on Saturday, Jay went to Mr. Goalie, the movie about Glenn Hall. We had the director on last week, so Jay's going to tell us about that experience and fired up for Napoleon products when we get back. Here's the Coob.
Oilers notes Leon Draisaitl skated today and is expected to be back at some point in round 1 of the postseason. Max Jones, he's out for up to a month with a lower body injury that forced him out of Saturday's game in LA. Jason Dickinson, he's a no-go for the final 2 games of the regular season. Zach Hyman also, he won't play tonight and is questionable for Thursday's season finale. From Rogers Place, 7:30 puck drop. Oilers, Avs go at it. Connor Ingram starts for Edmonton. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They tee up the matchup. Coverage starts at 6:30 only on EST. In other news, former Leafs general manager Brad Treliving and Penguins assistant general manager Jason Spezza have joined Team Canada's management for this year's World Hockey Championship. Pittsburgh's Kyle Dubas is also in the fold in a support role. Jays News, Toronto. They've acquired Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich and another piece to be announced. Details to come on that one with the move. Shane Bieber has been listed on the 60-day injured list. 10 games in the majors today, 1 game live, end of the 5th. Astros down by 4 runs to the Mariners. After that, the D-backs and Orioles match up at 4:35. This sports update is brought to you by Sather Reid Sport Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at satherreidsportmed.ca to book an appointment. Today, the show rolls on here On Edmonton Sports Talk, I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Two guys and a goalie.
Is he a 20-plus goal scorer moving forward? That would be some money that you could spend on a different type of player. But if you're just hoping to find somebody who's going to score 20 goals, Roslovic did that for you this year. He's an interesting study this offseason, that's for sure.
I mean, I think you could probably throw an offer sheet over St. Louis's way this
For
year.
Dylan Holloway.
Would you sign Dylan Holloway for the same 25?
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in-store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian-owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit and the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Here's how we expect the Oilers to line up tonight. McDavid between Podkolzin and Savoy. Nugent-Hopkins between Howard and Roslovic. Howard freshly called up from the farm. Szymanski with Doc and Frederick. Henrique with Lazar. I wrote Hyman there. That's wrong. Why would I write that in
Kapanen.
there? In Kapanen, sorry. Hyman's out. Kapanen. Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurse with Murphy, Wallman with Emberson, Ingram the goaltender. So no Drysdale, no Hyman, questionable for Thursday, no Dickinson, no real update on his status, no Max Jones, he's out 3 to 4 weeks. The Avs, and we'll get more on their story with Connor McGahey at the top of the hour, they will not have Makar Manson or Kadri, and Jared Bednar is out. But he got hit with a puck?
Yeah.
The head coach is not on this road trip as well.
Something like an orbital fracture.
Yeah, that's not good. That's
not
tough,
good.
man. Coaches got to wear full masks or something on the bench.
I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often, to be honest, Reid.
Right.
Like just an errant puck whacking somebody.
Yeah. He's Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday afternoon here on Edmonton Sports Talk is where you can find us. And we are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Afternoons just got a serious upgrade at the Canadian Brewhouse. Happy hour runs Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. Deals starting at $3.99. Make the smart move and head to the Canadian Brewhouse. They are great partners here at EST. More on the Oilers and the Avalanche. By the way, it's a 7:30 game, so 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show hosted by Tom Gazzola. Then what's the Canucks on Thursday to end the regular season. I'm sure you know this. We don't know where the Oilers are going to finish. They're in the playoffs. They could finish first, second, third, or fourth. They could play the Kings again. A lot still up in the air. We'll move closer to deciding some of those things tonight, and then, of course, over the course of the week. Before we get to Jay's experience at Mr. Goalie at the Metro Cinema at the Garneau on Saturday, because I know you had a great time, the off-topic topic is humming along for William Huff. Which board game in your family or relationship or friend group, whatever, always seems to lead to bad blood, conflict, a fight, somebody storming out, whatever you want to say?
Well, I appreciate the honesty from Alicia Hemming in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. She said the game of life would always get pretty heated until I figured out how to cheat and always pull the doctor card for my career.
Right.
Ooh. I'm not sure you wanted to let that one out.
Oh,
Uncle Jesse says, when I was young, Mom hated when we'd play life. Our spinner was sticky, so my old man would spray it with Pam. About every 5 spins, it would get everywhere.
Oh, jeez. That's what a solution that was.
Adam in Quebec City. Back in the day when I was living in residence, St. Jean, big board game that would lead to many fights was Monopoly. It got to the point where I had to draw up a legal waiver for a new player who wanted to play with us on our floor.
See, speaking of my cousins, James and Chris, we didn't do it this past summer, but usually a fixture of our visits, whether I was in Ontario or they were here, was that we would play a Monopoly game. And over the years, we agreed we play till the bitter end, until 2 guys are completely out of money and 1 guy has everything.
Oh.
If 1 guy is out early, too bad. He can be the banker and has to sit and watch. And
that was always a good spot.
So we had it down where it's like, this is how we play. So we really took any complaining out of it. It's like, oh, well, you're going to beat me. Well, maybe not. You got to play it out. Play it out.
The original game Monopoly was actually stolen.
Was it?
Yes. The person that made it stole it from a lady that had invented it, and they played it at her house party.
Oh, nice.
And he went off and did this Monopoly and then came back later.
Okay.
And she still wanted her version published.
Right.
So they published. They said, okay, we'll publish it. That's our make good to all this.
Okay.
And it bombed. Yeah. So she should have just taken a royalty. My gosh. Okay. Fired up, Reid.
Fired up.
Get into it
for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street.
So last Thursday, we had on our show Ryan McInerney, who is the director of a film that came out. It was part of the Northwest Film Festival.
Right.
You know who's a board member on the Northwest Film Festival?
Is Zip on there?
Christian Zip.
Yeah, great
Who
guy.
did I see in the before the movie on the screen? His name.
Oh, nice.
And I thought, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So Ryan was nice enough to invite me and my family to. It was the Alberta premiere of Mr. Goalie, which is the Glen Hall story.
Right.
So this was at 4:00 on Friday. Well, 4:30 on Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we showed up there at 4, and the Garneau was lined up from the door, around the building, the side, and then around the entire. It almost looped the building. So it was a complete sellout. So a massive success. And Reid, I gotta say, it was something. You never know what you're gonna get with a documentary like this.
Yeah.
The entire Hall family was there. They were all wearing their jerseys, which was really cool.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to sit with them. As you know, I know some of the family. And I got to sit right beside the director, Ryan McInerney.
Oh, amazing.
And I wanted to see what his reaction would be, because I'll tell you one thing. It's not out yet. Like, you can't go on Netflix and look at this.
Not yet.
But part of doing these film festivals is to get distribution. And I'm quite certain that this will. This is something that's too good to not be viewed.
Yeah.
And it was funny. And I was really happy. Like, that's the biggest takeaway for me. Like, aside from the incredible story and the way it was put together, was that Glenn Hall, who I had met several times, was a funny guy.
Right.
He would tell a joke and you wouldn't realize it's a joke until about 3 seconds after he told it.
Okay.
He just had that dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
But he was funny. And it came across that way in the documentary, which I really appreciated. And it was just really well put together. It timelined his life as a goalie.
Right.
And it timelined, I mean, he's remembered or revered as a Chicago Blackhawks goalie.
Right.
They never paid him anything.
Really?
He would hold out, right?
Yeah.
And paint his red barn and Stony Plain.
Right, yeah.
And in the hopes of getting a raise. They'd never give him a raise. It wasn't till he went to St. Louis and came out of retirement that he got his biggest contract of his life.
Right.
Which was Scotty Bowman came to his house in Stony Plain, and Glenn said, yeah, well, I'd sure like to come out of retirement, but it would cost, this wasn't the biggest one of his career, sorry, but it was to get on pace with what other goalies were making at that time.
Right.
He said, but I need $50,000 to do it. And Scotty Bowman said, wow, well, I was prepared to offer you $40,000.
Right.
And Glenn Hall said, well, I guess 45 it is then.
Okay.
And they shook hands, and that was the end of it. Then they just sat around and drank beer.
Right.
But it's just an incredible story. I'm really excited for this to get to distribution so that if you weren't there at the premiere on Saturday, it is a top tier. I won't even say if you're, I don't care about the NHL or I don't care about goalies. Don't do it for that. The stories about it are incredible. The people that they have helping tell the story, the Scotty Bowmans, the Bobby Hulls, Gary Cheevers was fantastic in it.
Right.
It's just really well done. I can't say enough about it. And even Mike Vernon said, because Glenn Hall was the goalie coach for the Calgary Flames when they won their cup.
Right.
And obviously Mike Vernon was the goalie. Mike Vernon says Glenn was never, he never put one foot on the ice.
Really?
Not once. And he wondered at the start, how's this going to work?
Right.
And Glenn wasn't talking to him about his mechanics or how to cover the net. It was the mental side of things that they worked on off the ice.
Right.
And with video that just changed Mike Vernon's life and career. So can't say enough about it. It was great. Ryan was fantastic. They did a Q&A after, which was really
sweet.
Cool as well. And the Garneau, I mean, hey, it was a cool
and it
place.
was packed, you said.
Packed.
That's amazing.
And I know I've been outspoken on this show about the reclining aspect of the chairs at Garneau.
Yeah.
And I've taken a different stance because I wasn't dressed in a full suit as I am at the Estes.
Right.
That they're pretty badass if you're just dressed in leisure clothes. So maybe that's what I got to do is just come to the Estes in leisure clothes. We could make that happen.
Well,
hey?
I'm glad you got to see that. And they're still working on where it'll be distributed or streamed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be one of these things that you'll see come out on Crave or Netflix or something of that ilk, I would imagine.
Yeah. I watched the Oilers game, so I didn't go, but I'm glad you got to go, and I definitely want to see it when it's available. And we've talked about this as first of all, I'm glad you saw it in the theater.
Yeah,
that's great. But I do think that streaming, I don't know, this is just my kind of layman's opinion. I don't know if there's a form of cinema that has been helped more than documentary by streaming.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's like, hey, let's go to a movie Friday night. Well, I heard this documentary is good. Yeah, but it's been a long week. I just want to see Brad Pitt run around and be cool and make jokes and blow things up. Whereas now it's just like, oh, hey, we can watch this at home. I heard this was interesting, or you could watch it in segments or whatever. So, but I'm glad you saw it in the theater.
Well, and one thing I will say, and this is credit to Ryan McInerney, the director, is that he pulled you along with intrigue the whole time.
Right.
Even if you knew the story of Glenn Hall, he told it in a different manner that would just make it different.
Yeah.
But I would say this, that there wasn't many dry eyes at the end of it. Like, it was pretty hard hitting at the end, obviously, knowing that he's passed, knowing that his wife had passed several years earlier.
Right.
But the love that he had for his wife and his family was almost, it almost carried the movie on its own.
Really?
And this is a movie about one of the greatest goaltenders of all time.
Yeah.
A goalie that has the record for playing in 502 consecutive regular season games, a record that'll never be broke. Yet you leave there just stunned and impressed by the amount of love he had for his family.
Yeah, that's
pretty
amazing,
cool.
man.
It's pretty cool when you can do that.
I'm glad you got to see that. So it's Mr. Goalie. You can follow it on Twitter. They got a website. But yeah, hopefully it'll be widely available to everybody very, very soon. Okay, it's 3:45. So Jay has his play of the day coming up. We're going to get to that. Oilers and Avalanche coming up at 7:30 tonight. I always like to give the special team story going into a game. So here's what I can tell you. The Oilers power play is still first in the NHL, 30.6%. Well, I guess they had the good power play game. Which one was it? San Jose?
Yeah, 3 for 3.
Didn't get one against the Kings, obviously, but back over 30%. First in the NHL. One of the crazy things about the Avalanche, 25th power play in the NHL. They were last or second last most of the year. 17.9%. PK is flipped the other way. Avalanche best PK in the NHL, 84.1%. And the Oilers 23rd in the NHL. They are at 77.3%. Connor McGee, he's going to tell us more about the Avalanche in a few minutes. Jay's play of the day when we get back for Play Alberta. Here comes the Coop.
Leon Drysdale skated for the Oilers today. He's expected to be back at some point during round one of the playoffs. Max Jones, he's out for up to a month with a lower body injury. Jason Dickinson, he's out for the final 2 games of the regular season, while Zach Hyman is out for tonight. Might be out Thursday, for the season finale as well, questionable against the Canucks. At 7:30 tonight, Oilers host the Avalanche. Connor Ingram starts. Ike Howard plays his first game since late January for Edmonton. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They hit the airwaves at 6:30 right here on EST. Elsewhere, Jonathan Quick, he suits up in his final NHL game for the Rangers as he takes on the Panthers. In Jays news, Toronto has acquired Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich and another piece as well to be announced, either player or cash considerations. And with the move, Shane Bieber has been placed on the 60-day injured list. One game live in the majors. Mariners up 6-2 on the Astros. After that, the D-backs and Orioles duke it out before the Nationals and Pirates match up. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Reid Wilkins Show continues following the commercial break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Oil Stream. Let's start with the positive. He's on the ice. He's skating with the team, taking a full morning skate. That's good. And listening to what he had to say, listening to what Chris Knobloch had to say, because Knobloch said that he anticipates Drysdale's timeline to be sometime in round number 1. And then you listen to Leon, and he said it felt like it was something more serious than other stuff he's dealt with.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The Blue Jays are back for their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences or tackling backyard spring projects, get the space you need with Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit and the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed.
A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Hockey on one screen, basketball on the next, soccer in the corner. And yeah, we've got UFC too. There's a reason we have this many screens. Because no matter what you're watching, it deserves the big moment. We don't pick sides. We don't pick sports. We put it all on. Cold beers flying. Game day eats landing. And the crowd's louder than your group chat. If it's on here. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation. With options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
All right, so in the Eastern Conference, just one playoff spot is up for grabs. The Flyers can clinch it tonight if they beat the Hurricanes in any fashion.
Oh.
With aplomb, with sourness. And then over in the Western Conference, you got 6 of the 8 playoff spots. Well, 6 of the 8 playoff teams have been determined. Not all the spots have been determined. Anaheim is not yet safe. LA is not safe. Nashville could still get in. No, they don't have the Jets or the Sharks as eliminated, but pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them would have to go 3-0 and get some help. Pacific Division, Vegas, 91 points. Edmonton, 90 points. Anaheim, 90 points. They've all played 80 games. LA is the 4th place team in the Pacific and the 2nd wildcard team in the West, 87 points. They've played 79 games. So, well, this is the crazy thing. LA could still actually finish first in the division. A lot of things would have to happen, but it's still all to be decided there. Oilers tonight against the Colorado Avalanche at Rogers Place.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Is presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instant, and sports betting. With the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up at playalberta.ca.
Okay. Look, Colorado's a good team. I know they're without some players. What was it? Makar, Manson, and Kadri are all out tonight.
Yes.
But the Oilers are without some players as well. Look, if they can get the same goaltending they got last Saturday against LA, I think they should be able to win this game. Now, that being said, I just wanted to stay away from the win-loss part, just because you don't know what team on both sides is going to show up.
Yeah.
But I do like what Vasily Podkolzin has been doing of late, especially since he's been elevated to the top line. I mean, in April, 5 games, he has 4 points. So he is contributing. Now, on playalberta.ca, if you click on sports, click on ESC specials, you'll see Jay's play of the day, Podkolzing. They added a G. Podkolzing, 1+ points. That was regularly plus 123. That's been boosted to plus 140. So I like, being on the top line with McDavid. Savoy's been playing very good. I see Dusty's got a play in there. Dusty's play of the day is Savoy point.
Okay.
So that's Jay's play of the day. Head on over to playalberta.ca. Click on sports. Click on ESC specials. You'll see Jay's play of the day. Vasily Podkolzing, 1+ point. That is boosted to plus 140. And if you haven't yet downloaded the brand new Play Alberta app, it is fantastic. Reid, always use your game sense as well.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, presented by Play Alberta. So we got to give clue number 2. Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. You're trying to win a $25 gift card to Hudson's. You must text in your guesses to 780-218-9999. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. First correct guess gets the $25 GC. Maximum 3 guesses per person. The second clue is Nordiques. The first clue was Flyers. The second clue is Nordiques. All right? So that's it. We'll see if we need a clue number 3. Just saying.
Brent P says it would be incredible if LA wins out the season to win the division and the other teams falter.
Yeah. Well, it would be incredible for sure.
Would be incredible.
It's mathematically possible, best I can tell.
It is. They've got a game in hand on the other teams that are ahead of them. So they could have 6 points and get to 93 should they win out.
Now, Buffalo can clinch the Atlantic tonight. Which, I mean, what a run for Buffalo. Buffalo clinches the Atlantic if they beat the Blackhawks in regulation. And, so both these things have to happen. And the result of the Tampa Bay-Detroit game is anything other than a Lightning regulation win. So the Sabres have to beat Chicago in regulation. And then Tampa Bay can't beat Detroit in regulation. And then Buffalo gets first, which is pretty amazing. The Hurricanes can clinch first in the East if they get at least a point versus the Flyers, or if Chicago beats Buffalo in any fashion. A lot of ifs here.
Now, aren't the Hurricanes not dressing their full, starting lineup? Is that not the case?
I think so. Coop had something on that. The Canadiens and Lightning will be locked in to play each other if the Sabres clinch the Atlantic, right? Obviously. And then the Flyers can clinch the third seed in the Metro, and then that sets up a Philly-Pittsburgh series if the Flyers beat the Hurricanes in any fashion. Ducks can clinch tonight if the Sharks beat the Predators in any fashion. Kings clinch a playoff berth if they beat the Kraken in any fashion, and the Sharks defeat the Predators in regulation. I just realized as I'm saying this, why am I saying this? Because people are probably like, sorry, Reid, what?
Well, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the time of the year. I'm here for it, buddy.
Right.
I just need the Oilers to get 3 points in their next 2 games.
And then you get, what was that bet?
I had a future on the Oilers to get over 92.5 points in the regular season, and Florida to not get 92.5, to get under, which Florida has taken care of quite handily.
Right.
So the Oilers need, a win tonight would go a long way in that.
All right. We'll talk more about this game with Connor McGahey, the Avalanche play-by-play voice, when we get back. And what a voice it is. We love having this guy on the show. 4 o'clock break in the coop first.
The Lock Shop. You know what? I'm going to make an announcement here to finish off today's Lock Shop. I have told you many times over the years, I do not support other Canadian teams in the playoffs. Winnipeg to be the team that wins the cup and ends the drought and brings the cup back to Canada. I'm announcing today on the Lock Shop, I am definitely pulling for the Oilers. So count me on your side.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love the thrill of competition, but prefer to keep it classy?
Well, it's as classy as you can get when Dustin Nielsen is the host.
Join us April 14th at Bell and Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bid for Kids, presented by GS Construction.
A night filled with special guests, auctions, and a ton of prizes in support of Kids Spot.
No whistles, no play clock.
Just a room full of generous hearts.
EST's Bid for Kids. Get your tickets at kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Use promo code ESTBIDS for 10% off.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Worksite ready, Western tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work.
LAMMLES. Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Oilers injury notes. Leon Drysdale skated today, and he's expected to return at some point in the first round for the Oilers. Max Jones, he's out for 3 to 4 weeks with a lower body injury that forced him to leave Saturday's game in L.A. Jason Dickinson, he's a no-go for the final 2 games of the season. Zach Hyman will not dress tonight and is questionable for Thursday's season finale against Vancouver. At 7:30 from Rogers Place, Oilers Avs go at it. Connor Ingram starts for Edmonton. Ike Howard suits up in his first game since late January for the Oilers. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson. They hit the airwaves for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show to tee up the game. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on EST. We also have Jonathan Quick in action, his final NHL game, playing for the Rangers. They take on the Panthers, and the Golden Knights, they hit the ice in Winnipeg. Jays News Toronto, they've acquired Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich and another piece to be announced, either another player or cash considerations. And with the move, Shane Bieber has been placed on the 60-day injured list. 10 games in the majors today, 1 game live, top of the 8th. Mariners up 6-2 on the Astros. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Okay, hope you're having a great Monday afternoon leading into an Oilers game tonight at 7:30 at Rogers Place. So at 6:30 here on Edmonton Sports Talk, it's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show hosted by our good buddy Tom Gazzola. Sean Bell will be on with him. Of course, Benny Thompson will be on the technical desk as it's the 81st game of the season for the Oilers. 82nd and final regular season game on Thursday. Next year, they're going 84, Jay. This will be nowhere near the end in a year from now.
Fantastic.
Just keep adding games. It's amazing. All right. The Avalanche, great team. First in the NHL in goals for per game. First in goals against per game. They're going to be a favorite to win the Stanley Cup. to look at some of their storylines and talk about who knows what else, we're going to go to the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team, fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. He's the play-by-play voice for the Avs on Altitude Sports. He's a good buddy of mine. It's Connor McGahey. Check it in. Connor, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Boys, good day to you. How are you?
Doing great. Now, you are still at the hotel, not quite in the booth, I think.
Well, you caught me at like a week. If you would have said 4:30, we would have been inside Rogers. But you said 4 o'clock, which was like the ultimate in-between. So I opted to stay back a little bit. So I'm just right next door. But you hit me with the 4 o'clock, which threw a curveball, which I think I was able to hit. I'm not sure yet. So we're still in the hotel.
You're very kind and adaptable, and you've always been a great guest with me. You could always say, look, Reid, I got to move it, but I just know from having play-by-play guys on. Yeah,
I have denied you before.
I can't remember one, but you're pretty agreeable.
I think there's one.
Maybe. I think the Broncos needed a backup kicker that day. You were punting. You were punting at practice. You're working on your
I grew up
coffin
playing
quarter.
soccer. I could do it.
Anyway, it's good to see you. Now, I was on your Twitter. You always do a great job on Twitter, updating people on the Avalanche. And sometimes were people asking you how many Tim Hortons you've had today? What's going on?
Yeah, so it's a thing. Apparently, it's turned into something over the past 5 or 6 years that because we don't have it, so it's just easy here. There's some poo-poo about Tim Hortons. I tend to enjoy it, so I max out of my Tim's time when I come to Canada, whether it's Winnipeg, here, Calgary, you name it. So people always ask on any Canadian trip, how many Tim Hortons today? And we're at 2 right now. Probably 3 on the way over.
Yeah, not bad. Well, if you're in a Canadian, well, it doesn't have to be a Canadian city. You can't miss it. There's always one nearby.
It's like that old Simpsons commercial when Starbucks was starting to get really big, and I think Bart's trying to get a tattoo. And the guy goes, hey, kid, you better hurry up. In 10 minutes, this place is becoming a Starbucks. And it pans out, and every single shop in the mall is a Starbucks. That's kind of how it is in Canada with Timmy's.
Yeah. I'm surprised they have not put a Tim's in Denver, because there are Tim's in Buffalo, I'm pretty sure.
And Columbus, yep.
How does Denver not have a Tim's?
I don't know. I think Arizona did once upon a time, but I actually looked into franchising one time, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. I don't have the time or the resources to franchise a Tim Hortons, although I probably could have. If and when I get fired, Reid, then we'll look into that. If and when.
So the I guess what would be the go-to at home for you? Or are you a Dunkin' guy? Or if there was a Timmy's in Denver, would you support it?
Depends on where it is, because I live very much southwest in town, and knowing my luck, they would put it by the airport, which is very much northeast, which probably puts it out of driving range on a normal day. But I do remember when Dunkin' first came to Denver, it was a big deal. It was like when the first Krispy Kreme donuts opened up. There was a line around the block, and it was at the Dunkin' was at 4th and Broadway, and everyone drove from all over the city to go wait for an hour and a half at Dunkin' for some odd, stupid reason now that I look back at it. But that, I would hope if I opened a Tim Hortons franchise in Denver, it would be the same way.
Well, it's important to have dreams, as we both know. So we'll see what happens.
I have too many of those.
Yeah. The Avalanche dreaming of another Stanley Cup. Before they get there, they got to play a couple more regular season games and then go through the postseason. I guess I have to start with who's not participating in the game tonight. I think I'm going to start with your head coach, because it's pretty unusual to have a coach on the injured list. What happened there again?
Boy, scary incident versus Vegas a couple nights ago. Keegan Colasar. I watched it back. I don't know the intention there, but he's right at the red line and just gets a full ice cream scoop underneath the puck. I think he's trying to dump it into the Av zone, and it's moving like a missile, and Bednar has no time to react. It catches him in the right cheek. So he's got 2 fractured bones there and a bruised cornea. No surgery will be needed, which is the good news. He didn't travel. It will be a 2-man bench tonight and tomorrow in Calgary. Dave Haxtell, obviously former head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers and Seattle Kraken, and then Nolan Pratt, proud Alberta native, will be behind the bench running the PK and the defense. So the 2 of them will take care of things in 2 games that mean nothing for the Avalanche. which is, I think, a good thing. So it could have been a lot worse for Jared Bednar, but he stayed home to rest these next couple of days. We'll see if he even coaches Thursday at home in the season finale against Seattle.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully he heals quickly. So Makar's not playing. No, he hasn't played since what, March 30th? How potentially serious is this?
No, it's not. I think, in the words of Benjamin Franklin, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And that's the thing. Same, I think, with Josh Manson as well, who won't play tonight. Donson Kadri skated in a non-contact sweater at morning skate this morning. He won't go either. And Arturi Lehkonen is resting tonight for the Colorado Avalanche. So we're in that mix now where you have a couple guys going for milestones. Brock Nelson's 1,000th game tonight. His first ever NHL game actually came back in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Once upon a time, he had to play against Sidney Crosby. I wasn't sure that he was planning on being a Black Ace for the day, and then got the call. He had to suit up for his NHL debut in the playoffs. But here he is in 1,000 NHL games tonight. Marty Necas sitting at 99 points, and Nathan MacKinnon in a Rocket Richard race, trying to stay ahead of Cole Caulfield. So I think until a couple of those things are ticked off the checklist individually, then the resting will wait for tomorrow and probably definitely Thursday, a big-time no-hitter versus the Seattle Kraken.
Right, okay.
Connor McGahey joining us here, Avs play-by-play, joining us on the Oil Country Video Hotline here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I wanted to ask you, Connor, about the Lumberyard. What's going on in goal for the Colorado Avalanche? I mean, I see Scott Wedgwood played 43 games. Mackenzie Blackwood played 38. At least from my perspective, it doesn't appear as though that they have a bona fide number one like they do in Edmonton with Connor Ingram. Who do you think is going to get the net going into the playoffs?
It's been an interesting question that's been asked to Jared Bednar numerous times, and I think there's a bunch of teams who feel comfortable with either or both. I mean, Wedgwood, though, since the Olympics, 9-2-1 with a 1.54 goals against, 938 save percentage. Only one bad game against Pittsburgh, but Wedge has allowed 2 or less in the rest of those starts. Mackenzie Blackwood, fewer games played. A lot of that has to do with an injury earlier in the year where Wedgwood, who I don't think started the season designated to be a starting goaltender, took all those starts in the absence of Mackenzie Blackwood, and has had a career year in every category imaginable. Still leads the NHL at goals against average, save percentage. I think he's played enough games to be in consideration for the Vezina, but people who pretend to more know than I do, disagree with that. I think that's plenty of games to have a body of work, and he's led in both of those categories for some time now, and had it his third shutout. Both goaltenders have 3 clean sheets on the year, so Jared Bednar is not lying when he tells people that he's comfortable with either goaltender in net come game 1 early of next week.
All right. So Avs President's Trophy opponent. Well, could be Edmonton. Could be Edmonton.
Isn't that wild?
All this.
Edmonton could win the division or be wild card number 2,
or be wild card 2. We'll see. What's the? I know I asked this a few weeks ago when they played, and I think your answer was the power play. I believe the power play's moved up.
Yeah. Much
so
better.
I mean, look, the Avalanche are a great team, so I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but you and I both know there's never been a perfect team in NHL history, even the teams that are really, really good. Is there a bugaboo that would be a concern for you, or something, or an area where you say, well, that could be susceptible when they get into a series? Is there anything?
I mean, they've fixed the power play woes for the most part. I mean, they came out of the great power play summit of Milan 2026, and things really started to look good. They put Nazem Kadri on that top unit. Gabe Landeskog has a couple power play goals. Nicholas Waugh, who came over from Toronto, power play unit number 2, made an immediate impact. So the new personnel has helped get that going, as well as some much needed soul searching in regards to creativity and stubbornness on the power play. So that's fixed. I think in a lot of the big losses, especially on home ice, I mean, you lost 8-6 to the Vancouver Canucks in the weirdest game of the year. I think we gave up 5 to the Oilers, 7 at home to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In all those games, complete defensive breakdowns, decision-making, rush coverage was a big deal. Now, they went on to fix those ailments in games after that. So it's not this lingering problem. It's not like a hamstring that has this team slowed up a little bit. But it was the defensive decisions there for a little bit that I don't want to creep back in come playoff time. Now, the one thing I'll say is that if this team has had any sort of small or big problem all year, they've worked to fix it and pretty much have done it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But in the past month and a half, I would say defensively, they have been more lax than they were earlier in the year, and definitely more so than they were in 2022 when they won the Cup.
That could also just be, we know where we're going to finish,
Yeah.
and
That could be, are we there yet?
We'll start
Yeah.
getting interested on April 20th or whenever their first game is. Before I let you go, okay, so you mentioned Lekkonen's out?
Yeah,
Okay, so
Lehkonen will rest tonight, it looks like. Yeah.
Who's coming in then?
Barkov will be in.
Well, Bartikov is coming in?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to update my lines. Is he going right into that spot, though?
I wouldn't think so. I think that you'd reunite McKinnon, Natchez, and Gabe Landeskog if
right. Okay.
And then it's hard to separate Camrose native Parker Kelly, Jack Drury, and Logan O'Connor as the Tasmanian Devil line. It's hard to pull them apart. So we'll see if Kiviranta, Nicholas Waugh, and Bartikov are a trio tonight. See what Dave Haxtell decides to do because he has the flexibility to try different combinations of 2 and 3 tonight.
Right. Okay. Hey, man, thanks for doing this. I'm glad we got to talk now because it's usually rushed if we do get to visit at the rink. But, of course, I'll be sitting right in front of you, and I'll get to hear your call.
Connor,
I'm sorry ahead of time.
I wanted to ask you one other question because Denver won the men's national championship for hockey in the Frozen Four over the weekend. What's that like? Like, what kind of attention does that get in Denver? Is there a major following, or is it further down the chain?
No, it's a pretty big following, Jay. I went to the University of Denver. I started in hockey as I was the PA announcer there as a student right after, and I got to watch the 04-05 national championships as a student there back to back, and then started doing the PA in 06, I think, because Alan Roach, who does the Avalanche now, had gone to DU during the lockout in that year to take over DU. So when he left, I got recommended to do that, and the rest is history. And then I actually did TV play-by-play for the Pioneers for 2 seasons on Altitude, 2016 and 2017. So went to the Frozen Four in 2017. Logan O'Connor was on that national championship team. And then DU has won a record 11 national championships, which they tied Michigan, and now they've completely overtaken them in that regard with 3 national titles in the last 5 years. David Carl has done an unbelievable job as the head coach there. But DU, there's a little bit of a downturn, I think, in the 80s, started to pick back up late 90s as far as the following goes. But Magnus Arena is a great place to watch hockey, and it's definitely a huge following. I mean, they had to shut down some intersections around the University of Denver and I-25 after that game ended the other night, a 2-1 win over Wisconsin. So, yeah, DU hockey is definitely a big thing in Denver. East High School won a national championship there a couple of years ago. So we've sort of taken Hockey Town away from Detroit and put it on Denver, Colorado.
That's awesome. Thanks for that perspective, Connor. Enjoy the walk to the rink, of course, and I'll see you tonight, my friend.
If I make it over there, it's a long way.
Yes, very, very long way. Connor McGahey on the Oil Country Towing video hotline, play-by-play voice for the Avalanche on Altitude Sports. Good perspective from him. So the Avs here, some guys out. Doesn't sound like any of their injuries are too serious with Kadri, Makar, and Banson. Maybe the coach has the most serious injury. Lekkonen's going to rest tonight as the Avs are first overall, first in the Central, 115 points. Can't be caught. Just waiting to see who they play in the first round. Oilers can't be caught for a playoff spot. Can be caught for second in the division, third in the division. We'll get a little more information on where the Oilers might finish tonight, especially depending. We'll go through this whole schedule later on, like we've been doing, and look at some of the possibilities as we move through the show. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Hey, they got the big 50% off the entire menu at Tap 25, 7 days a week. 7 days a week. That is from 2 to 5 p.m., rivercreeresort.com. And we do have a winner, Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. So this one went quickly, which is fine because we've had probably 3 or 4 in a row that got to the third or to the fourth or fifth clue, didn't we? Well, didn't we have to make up a couple extra clues last week? With
yes,
the Podkolzin one?
Podkolzin.
So this one didn't go too quickly, or it did go quickly. Didn't last too long. First clue was Flyers. Second clue was Nordiques. The third clue would have been Predators. So he was drafted by the Flyers, later played for them. Played with the Nordiques, and then they became the Avalanche. Was briefly a Predator later on in his career. The fourth clue would have been Stamp, because his home nation made a stamp of him scoring a famous goal in the Olympics. And then Avalanche was going to be the fifth clue. It's Peter Forsberg. Peter Forsberg. So who's the winner?
Brent P. Was the person that sent in the correct answer first. There were some others as well that got it, but Brent P. was the one that got it first. And that was well before we had Connor McGahey on, so we had to get to that. But yeah, congrats. Brent P., you're the winner.
$25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. We do a mystery athlete every weekday Oilers game day here on the Reid Wilkins Show. And this is going on into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Could have a whole bunch more.
Well, and you know what? We should make a little bit of an announcement about programming and scheduling for our shows, because inevitably there's going to be some 8 o'clock starts during the playoffs, at which time, if that is a weekday game day and the game starts at 8, the Reid Wilkins Show is going to continue on until 6:30.
Right.
And then the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show will start at 6:30, and it will also be an extended show for an hour and a half. We did this last year as well. We just want to take it all through the day, right up to game time, so there's no downtime.
Yeah.
And discuss.
But we don't know. I mean, if they play the Mammoth, maybe we won't get any 8:30s. We'll just get some 8s.
Well, if they play LA first round, Reid.
But you think it's going to happen again?
Why not?
It could.
Why not?
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. You got to play somebody.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that.
That's going to be my slogan. That should be the advertising slogan for the playoffs. Stanley Cup playoffs. You're going to play somebody. We are going to get to some comments here from Leon Drysdale and from Chris Knobloch as we have the Oilers and the Avalanche coming up tonight, 7:30 at Rogers Place. So 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show tonight. Here comes the Coop.
Injury notes: Leon Draisaitl skated today. He's expected to return some point in round 1 of the playoffs. Max Jones is out for up to a month with a lower body injury that forced him to leave Saturday's game in LA. And Jason Dickinson's a no-go for the final 2 games of the regular season. Zach Hyman will not play tonight against the Avs. He's also questionable for Thursday's season finale against the Canucks. 7:30 tonight, Oilers hosting the Avs. Connor Ingram starts. Ike Howard playing his first game since late January for Edmonton. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson set the table for the matchup. Coverage starts at 6:30 only on EST. For the Raptors, Emmanuel Quickley, he's out day to day with a hamstring strain after leaving Toronto's season finale against Brooklyn yesterday. Toronto-Cleveland matchup in round 1 of the NBA playoffs starting Saturday. Jays News, Toronto acquiring Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich, and another piece to be announced, either player or cash considerations. And with the move, Shane Bieber has been shifted to the 60-day injured list. Over in the majors right now, top of the 9th, Astros. We're just wrapping up the Astros and Mariners contest. Seattle coming out with the win, 6-2. Warming up, D-backs, Orioles, Nationals, and Pirates about to go at it as well. And the Cubs also hit the field against the Phillies. This sports update is brought to you by The Ranch. The Ranch Golf Club delivers premier conditions, top-notch service, and unmatched value every round. It's why they're Alberta's top choice for corporate golf events. Visit theranchgolf.com today to find out more. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Darren Dreger.
Rasmus Dahlin is interesting to me. High on my list. Not quite sure I'm there yet, but he'd definitely be in my top 5. Can't look past the play of Zach Werenski. Matthew Schaefer and what he's done for the New York Islanders. It's a pretty big ask to throw him into that mix of 5. Bouchard in there, yes.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery. All in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Thanks a lot for checking us out. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Maybe you're on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you haven't already, and give this episode of the program a thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
We always like to get to at least 100 thumbs every show. We're at 84 halfway through the show. So let's get to 100. Who knows? Maybe even today we could get to our secondary goal of 100. And we're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Turn up the heat this April at the Canadian Brewhouse with our wing flavor of the month. Spicy Sriracha Maple Bacon. Sweet and spicy Sriracha Maple Bacon saucy wings for the perfect balance of heat, sweetness, and savory flavor. Get them only for a limited time. Spicy Sriracha Maple Bacon.
Oh, Lord.
On a chicken wing, baby.
Give it to me.
Like, what else do you need in your life?
Put it in my veins.
You could. I believe they now have the inject into veins option at Canadian Brewhouse. You order and they say, yes, would you like that on a plate or into your veins?
Yeah. Bone in, boneless, or vein.
Yeah. That's vein in. There it is. Canadian Brewhouse. We appreciate them for being our studio sponsor. All right. What's going on?
Oh, nothing.
780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino. Quickly to recap the off-topic topic, in case you missed it earlier, for William Huff. It's National Scrabble Day. So Jay and I went with this. Which board game in your family, friend group, whatever, always seems to lead to a fight or, a squabble, bad blood, an argument, somebody storming out of the room, table getting flipped, something like that.
This comes in from a 403 number. It's unnamed. I had a group of friends and we played Risk Regional. One of the guys never played to win. He'd settle for second. It drove me crazy. That would drive you crazy.
Like what? He would just never try hard enough to win? He would just get in other people's way? He just didn't want to finish last?
I
Is
guess.
that the thing?
I don't understand that mentality. Growing up, this comes in from Maddie Dubb. Growing up, my brothers and I always lost pieces for the games, so we would end up playing Scramalopolyship, which was a combination of whatever pieces and boards we could find. We could never agree which rules from which games we were using, so the games usually ended with violence. And
well, that irritates me hearing that, so I can understand that.
I bet it does. Sean says Candyland can get testy amongst us 4 siblings. I'm sure there's still grudges between us in our 40s. I'm telling you, Candyland is for real.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we had to get rid of that game because my daughters just couldn't play without somebody leaving crying.
And it's just pure luck. You just spin and move.
Yeah,
there's no strategy. You can't block anybody.
It's a weird one, Reid.
It just gets the juices going.
I can't explain it, but it sure does the trick.
Right. Is it that frustrating a game?
It's just so frustrating to be so close to the end.
Oh, and you could get moved
and
back.
then you spin a peanut and you have to move. Or I forget which one it was. It was
there's bad symbols.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's called Candyland?
Candyland.
I don't know if I played that one.
If we still have it, I'll bring it in. We can.
It sounds a little bit like Snakes and Ladders, but not really.
It is like Snakes and Ladders.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just hoping not to roll or spin a certain thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't really prevent it from happening.
No, I don't believe so.
Roll a 5. Oh, I did. I'm going down. Well, you went down the snakes and up the ladders?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Abutsky says, when I was a teenager, my family played an aptly named board game called Aggravation that never failed to produce bitter conflict. It was similar to the games Trouble and Sorry, but somehow even more frustrating.
Wow, that's amazing.
I've never heard of Aggravation.
I've heard of it, but yeah, I wouldn't remember the rules. I think there used to be commercials for it when I was a lad. What's going on with these shirts we have for sale?
We got shirts for sale.
We're selling clothes, everybody. We want to inform you about the local sports scene. We want to entertain you, and now we want to clothe you.
We'll have to get a picture of this shirt.
It's the triple play
to put up.
The triple crown.
It is pretty cool. So you can head on over to EdmontonSportsTalk.com. It's the EST playoff shirt. And it says, win the whole effing thing.
Oh, my.
It's actually a sharp-looking shirt. Wonder if Dusty came up with that.
He might have had something to do with it.
And aren't we making them?
I think so, yeah.
You and I.
You were sewing them by hand. We're staying late on our sewing machines. Yeah.
Coop's got it up here. So if you go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com, all you got to do is click on EST playoff shirt at the top, and it'll take you to this lovely shirt. So pre-order now. It says we'll ship by day 1 of the playoffs, if not sooner.
Okay, well, that's pretty soon.
So that's looks like we're going to be working this weekend, Reid.
Yeah, we are going to be firing up the sewing machine. Mm-hmm. Could you work a sewing machine if you had to? I don't think I could.
I could.
Someone would have to show me what to do.
I could. I don't know if I could get it ready, like spool it properly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But I could operate it once it's going.
Okay. Yeah,
the
spooling is... Yeah, this.
Have you ever used a serger?
A serger?
Serger.
No, I have not.
It finishes and cuts a seam at the same time.
Oh, okay.
It's like a super seam.
Oh, okay. You've used that?
Yeah.
Under what circumstances?
Home ec. Part of my learning.
Yeah, I took home ec. I don't remember. I just remember mostly cooking stuff in home ec.
Yeah, we sewed. We made cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
All the favorites.
Yeah.
I made sweatpants out of fleece.
And?
Incredibly uncomfortable. Looked like my bum was in the front. They didn't fit well.
You do. Bum in the front sweatpants from Jason Milne.
Hey, look at you. Bum in the front, Milne.
The Milne line of clothing.
Yeah.
Are you tired of your bum being in the back?
Yeah. Do you have room for a butt in the front? Check out J. Milne Clothing.
On Saturday Night Live, when I used to watch a lot, probably my university days, they had some of their satirical commercials, probably some of their best content. They did a commercial for three-legged jeans because with jeans it's always something. Acid watch, then they're bell bottoms again, then they're low rise, then they're up, they're up. So they had three-legged jeans, so it just had a full third leg hanging off, a leg and a leg and a leg. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We do have an Oilers game tonight against the Avalanche, and we do have the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. Okay. So Drysdale is out. Hyman's out. Questionable for Thursday. Dickinson is out. Didn't really get much on his status. Jones is out 3 to 4 weeks. Drysdale reflecting on getting injured against Nashville.
I knew that there's something wrong right away. Not necessarily a player that goes off like that with every little pinch I feel. So I felt that this was not something that... It was just something a little bit more serious. So you feel it right away, and then just made the decision that it doesn't make sense.
You wanted to come back and try it, though. Like, you gave it a little bit of a go just in the moment.
Yeah, sometimes in the moments it takes a little bit of time till it really kicks in, right? So felt completely different the next morning, and I just wasn't able to do it.
All right, so... we expect Drysdale to return during the first round. Chris Knobloch, the head coach of the team, was asked today, would Drysdale be playing today if this were a playoff game?
Yeah, I don't think I have an answer for that. I think it'd be premature to say that he'd be healthy to play ready today. So he's got some healing process to go through. And hopefully with skates and the rehab treatments that he's getting, that he's ready for us. And ideally, it'd be game 1. If it's game 3 or 4, then so be it. We're going to have to adjust. But we know Leon will play through a lot of pain, and he wants to play in the Stanley Cups more than anything. So there's never a doubt about his will. And, we'd be very fortunate. We would love to have him game 1, but we'll have to wait and find out.
All right. Well, a lot of waiting with that injury. I don't think he's going to play game 1.
Yeah, it's interesting because isn't that part of the fabric of Leon Draisaitl is that he's a bit of a warrior?
Sure.
He's got that, and I mean, look, come playoff time, a lot of players are playing with injuries or nicks.
Right.
It would just be hard to, I guess, think that he would miss game 1. Him, Leon, as a player. But if it's just not ready, then look what happened last year with Matthias Ekholm.
Yeah.
Right? It came back and he re-aggravated and then he was done. So you got to weigh things out. Do you think, Reid, that the opponent for the Oilers in the first round will make any changes to his timeline?
No. I think if he can play, he's got to play. He makes the Oilers better.
Now, what if you come out and win game 1? Do you think that gets bumped the game? Or do you think
I think he plays when he's ready.
Just ready
when he's got to play when he's ready. I think.
I just wonder if he's going to be fully healed.
Well, he may not be, but when he's comfortable to play, he's going to have to play, I think. Drysdale talking about knowing how he feels.
Yeah, I think nobody knows their bodies better than the athletes themselves, right? I know my body better than anyone in the world, and I know when I'm ready to go and when I'm forcing it. I'm highly aware of that, and this isn't an injury that you force anything with. So I'm going to see how I feel by the end of the week, and hopefully it feels great, and maybe I'm an option. Maybe it's a couple games later, but we'll see.
Yeah, like there's a lot of just we'll see, But I'm reading into this. There's a lot of like this kind of, we don't have a date, but it's probably not something that's going to heal in the next 4 or 5 days. And then he's fine. I mean, game one, they could have a game on Sunday already. I mean, the playoffs start Saturday. I don't think the Oilers would start Saturday because they play Thursday. But Sunday, if not Monday, they're going to have a playoff game. So this doesn't sound like something with Drysdale where anybody's confident saying like, oh yeah, a week's plenty of time. It doesn't sound like that at all. Dickinson, I guess maybe because we're not getting a timeline. So maybe it's one of those things where it's like, well, if he's off the ice and then he gets back skating and then he's going to be fine. But Dickinson didn't skate today. So why would I think he can play in a week? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't. That Dickinson one is really interesting, Reid. From what I'm hearing about it, it's without a timeline. I think, like we said earlier, that is a positive, and they're just trying to rest whatever lower body issue he has, and not re-aggravate, I guess, or put too much stress on it. Norm says, "Do you think Hyman is becoming a Band-Aid? He plays a tough game, but getting hurt more often."
No.
Yeah, I think, look, if the game one of the Oilers postseason was tonight, I think Hyman would be in the lineup.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? So I think what you're seeing here is just trying to give a player as much rest as possible. I mean, if they win tonight, and, you know, I guess you'd have to see what else is going on. But, I mean, bottom line is they're in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I don't... I don't know exactly what Norm meant, but I feel from, especially my career being a host, you know, if you call a player a Band-Aid, it's demeaning.
Absolutely.
Okay, does Hyman play a very sort of rugged, fearless type of game? Yes. Has he got injured with the Leafs, right? Didn't he have a knee injury his last year with the Leafs? He got injured during the Dallas series last year. So with the Oilers, he's played 76, 79, 80. Last year, he played 73 and then 15 playoff games. This year, he's played 57. So, I mean, considering his first 4 years with the Oilers, he played over 70 games. I don't consider that a lot of time missed. And I also look at it as Zach Hyman for 70 games is probably better than a lot of wingers for 82.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'm entering that where I would say, oh, Hyman's always hurt or you can't rely on him being in the lineup. I'm not there with him. Like, I think he's one of the toughest players in the league, quite frankly, in terms of availability and playing through stuff.
Well, and he plays in tough areas.
And he didn't get
often.
Last year when he was at Marchment that he ran into, that was almost more of an accident.
Yes.
It wasn't, oh, there's Hyman grinding in the corner and he happened to make himself a little too vulnerable and he got hit.
Yeah.
So no, I don't consider Zach Hyman a Band-Aid. I don't. Maybe other people do, but that's okay. But if Norm's asking if I do, I don't.
Okay.
I think he's an incredibly valuable player. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today. PlayAlberta.ca also works. EST specials, we have many of them, including Jay's Play of the Day.
Yes, simple, straightforward. Vasily Podgolzin. Pots goals in, baby. Pots goals in. Point. That's it. It's been boosted to plus one. What was it, Reid? 140? Okay, over at playalberta.ca, you click on sports, click on ESC specials. You'll see a plethora of plays, including this one, Reid. What do you think of this? They must have cooked this up on the Oil Stream. The Oil Stream shootout. Connor McDavid, 3 or more points, and Nathan MacKinnon, 3 or more points.
Sorry, say that again?
Connor McDavid, 3 or more points.
Yeah.
Nathan MacKinnon, 3 or more points.
Who's that from?
The Oil Stream shootout.
The Oil Stream shootout. Well, 8-6 again, like they had with the... Well, Avs and Canucks had a couple of weeks ago.
Plus 950. I'll tell you one thing: if you're playing that, the 3 and 3,
yeah,
you better be playing Jay's Play of the Day because Podkolzin's got to be involved.
You think, if McDavid gets 3 points, you'd think Podkolzin gets something along the way. All right, that's a fun one for sure. We're having a fun afternoon. Oilers and Avalanche at 7:30 at Rogers Place. So 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show hosted by Tom Gazzola here on EST. Tell you what, you're doing a great job with the thumbs on YouTube. We need 2 more to get to 100, and then we get into gravy territory where we're just pouring gravy all over each other. playoff format is being debated. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what the problem is. I'll get into that when we get back.
Oilers notes Leon Drysdale skated today. He's expected to return at some point during round one of the postseason for the Oilers. Max Jones, he's out 3 to 4 weeks with a lower body injury that forced him to leave Saturday's game in LA early. Jason Dickinson, he's a no-go for the final 2 games of the regular season. He will be reevaluated following Thursday's game against the Canucks. And Zach Hyman, he's also out tonight against the Avalanche, questionable for Thursday's season finale. At 7:30, the Oilers host the Avs. Connor Ingram starts. Ike Howard, his first game since late January for Edmonton. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They hit the airwaves at 6:30 right here on EST. For the Raptors, Manuel Quickley, he's day-to-day with a hamstring strain after leaving Toronto's season finale against Brooklyn last night. Toronto and Cleveland match up for round 1 of the NBA playoffs on Saturday. Jays News, Toronto acquiring Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich and another piece to be announced. More details to come on that, either another player or cash considerations. And with the move, Shane Bieber, he's been placed on the 60-day injured list. A trio of games live in the majors. Bottom first inning, D-backs up 1-0 on the Orioles. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. From custom homes to small renovations, Edmonton's top builders and contractors rely on Paramount Flooring. Their in-house team handles everything from selections to completion, keeping projects on track and on time. Visit their showroom, open 7 days a week, or find them at ParamountFlooring.ca. NHL conversation continues here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
It was an interesting interview the other day where he was asked, how come you didn't play in the tournaments the last couple of weeks on the PGA Tour to get ready for the Masters? He says, well, I really like driving my daughter to school in the morning, then I'd hop on my plane and fly to Augusta, play a practice round, and be home, fly back on my plane in time to pick my daughter up from school.
What a world, right?
Okay.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Dad, I'm coming home from university.
Before they come back from school, get extra space with Sentinel Storage. Affordable and convenient storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Plus, students save 10% on rental. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one, the power of one, the power of one, the power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. That all starts with one.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey Dad, I'm coming home from university.
Before they come back from school, get extra space with Sentinel Storage. Affordable and convenient storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Plus, students save 10% on rental. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
Jason Milne. I am Reid Wilkins. This is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk. We are every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. Thanks a lot for joining us. We love having you along for the ride. Maybe you're on iHeartRadio. Maybe you're on TuneIn Radio. Awesome way to get the show. Let other people know where to find Edmonton Sports Talk. We're keeping on building. We're in year 3 here, and the sky's the limit for us, and we got to keep getting the word out there. That's the thing, right? People may be thinking, a listener may be thinking, well, I've been listening.
Can't stop, won't stop.
How come everybody isn't listening? Well, we got to admit it. Not everybody knows, and some people might want to know. So you got the sports fan in your life, or the people who were fans of 1260, fans of Avant Furniture, maybe heard me when I was on Ched, and they're like, where are all these guys now? Well, we're all here together. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
All right, I was looking for some validation there.
Reid, you're absolutely right. It's the most beautiful thing
we are beautiful.
One can ever
We're
imagine.
all beautiful here. Damn it.
Damn it, we are.
You complete me.
Yes.
I don't think Cruz delivered the line quite that aggressively. You complete me. Speaking of movie, you saw Mr. Goalie. So at Iwanuk's recommendation, and because I know this is a very popular movie that I'd never seen, and there's a sequel coming out, I watched little old Wilkie, little angry old Wilkie. Well, I'm not angry. Little difficult old Wilkie with a cold heart. I watched The Devil Wears Prada.
Did you know?
Yeah, it's 20 years old already. There's a new one, a sequel coming out, I think next month, with Streep, with Blunt, with Hathaway, with Tucci. They're all back. I think it's the same director. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it.
What's this? Give me the synopsis of this movie.
So
I've heard of it.
It is a young aspiring journalist winds up getting a job as an assistant at a fashion magazine, and the publisher of the magazine is a very
hard to work with?
hard to work for, intense, demanding human being,
Right.
played by Meryl Streep.
Wasn't it
who I
based
think based off a novel and apparently based off a real person?
Who?
Oh, I can't. Is it Wintour? Is it Anna Wintour?
Anna Wintour, but what company was she responsible for?
I think in real life is
magazine?
Is it Vogue? I can't remember. In the movie, it's called Runway.
Okay.
But Streep is fantastic. So, and Tucci is fantastic.
Streep was fantastic.
Yeah, and Hathaway and Blunt were earlier in their careers, I guess. But I think Meryl Streep is one of the best screen performers of all time, quite frankly. I'll say that right now. Prove me wrong. You can't.
Really?
Well, you like Streep.
You know, okay.
Well, I know you don't watch a ton. I think she's great.
What's her best movie she's ever been in?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I haven't seen them all. I think she's great. Wasn't she Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen that, though. But she was in Only Murders in the Building the last couple of seasons. Anyway, it was good. And then on Saturday, I watched, this movie's about 9 or 10 years old. I watched American Made, the one where Cruz plays a pilot who starts running drugs for the cartel while also working for the CIA.
Right.
Very loosely based on a true story. Apparently quite loosely.
Is it good?
But it's an entertaining movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of more of a comedy. Because it's quite an absurd situation, though I guess there is some truth to it. But it's a good entertaining movie. So I would recommend that. Will I go see The Devil Wears Prada 2? Probably not. But it was
What do you mean?
a good distraction.
Probably not.
Why would I go?
You liked it.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Oh, but here, Meryl Streep this, Meryl Streep that.
Well, Streep's great.
Well, then you must love the movie.
I'd sooner go see Grogu and the Mandalorian. Or the Mandalorian and Grogu. You know Grogu. Okay. The Star Wars movie. The little green guy.
Okay, so it was the Treks.
It's Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shatner
is an actor. Yes, that's true.
Correct.
We have buying
To infinity and beyond. I believe that was the saying.
That's from something.
Okay.
We have buying or selling. It's presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. All right. So we haven't talked about it much on this show because I don't think it's an issue, and you haven't brought it up very much. So I guess you don't think it's an issue. So I need to ask people, why is it such a big issue? What's with all the complaining about the playoff format, and specifically like, well, Dallas and Minnesota are going to play in the first round. That's a travesty. What's the problem? I really ask everybody who's unhappy with the playoff format, what is the problem specifically of seeing Dallas and Minnesota play each other in a playoff series? What's so bad? Because the argument I'm hearing is like, well, two awesome teams are going to play each other in the first round. Well, isn't that the point of the playoffs, to have awesome matchups and entertaining series?
So what are you talking about? You're saying that the current format is different than the 1v8?
Yeah, so if it was... Okay, but here's the thing. Thank you for asking me that. When it was 1v8, they gave the division winners in the regular season the top 2 seeds.
Sure.
So if they were to go 1v8, the top 3 seeds wouldn't be Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota. It'd be Colorado, based on today's standings, Vegas, and then Dallas.
Yeah, it's Colorado, Vegas, Dallas, Minnesota, Utah, Edmonton, Anaheim, LA.
So let's assume the top 4 seed, there weren't any upsets. So then the top 4 remaining would be Colorado against Minnesota and Vegas against Dallas. So then people would be complaining, well, why does Dallas get the easiest matchup?
Mm-hmm.
Why do Colorado and Minnesota have to play in the second round? I mean, this is... I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I get it. So, this team might be lower down and they're going to get an easier match. Who cares? The last I checked, it was very difficult to win the Stanley Cup. You have to win 4 very difficult series along the way. Does it really matter when these series happen? I mean, what about in the Atlantic Division? Montreal and Tampa Bay will likely play each other in the first round. They have more points than both Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, who are likely going to play each other in the first round. How is this a problem to have 2 really good teams playing each other? How is this a problem for people to be saying, well, that's going to be an entertaining series? Isn't that great?
Well, the simplest solution for me, or answer to anybody that would suggest that it should go back to that way, is, okay, but what are you doing? Does it matter if you get to the second round of the playoffs or the first round? No, that's not what your team's goal is. The team's goal is to win the Stanley Cup.
Right.
So you're going to have to play tough opponents throughout the entire Stanley Cup playoffs. If you happen to play a tougher opponent in the first round and you get past them, good, they're behind you. I mean, it doesn't really change that you still have to play extremely good hockey against extremely good competition.
Yeah. I get it. This year, the Pacific Division doesn't have as many strong teams or as many teams with a lot of points. All right. Okay, let's say you went 1 through 8 without worrying about the divisions. It'd be Colorado.
That's it.
Dallas. Oh, no, without worrying about the divisions. It'd be Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Vegas, Utah, Edmonton, Anaheim, LA at the moment. Okay. I mean, so then Dallas and Minnesota will play each other in the second round.
Yeah. Nolan from St. Albert.
I'm struggling with this.
So it's just not fair. That's a Western Conference final matchup, not a first round matchup.
No, it isn't. Because based on their seedings, okay, if you're saying the Western Conference final should be the top 2 teams in the West, Dallas and Minnesota ain't that. So one of them should be eliminated before the Western Conference final, Nolan. Right?
Yes. I don't know.
I understand what he's saying, that those 2 teams are good enough to be considered to play each other with a spot in the Stanley Cup final on the line. But why can't it happen early? And look, guys, what did he say? It's not fair? Guess what? Life ain't fair.
Hockey's not
Pro
fair.
sports ain't fair.
Sure isn't.
And look, there have been years where the Pacific Division's been strong. You know, in LA and Edmonton has been a matchup in the first round between 2 pretty good teams. This year, it's not gonna work out the same. But I don't know. Like, I heard the guys talking about it on the Hangout this morning. I've heard it brought up, and again, I just say to you, what is the problem with Dallas and Minnesota playing in the first round? What is actually the problem? So like, is every first round series supposed to be a mismatch? So they're all over in 4 games and no one watches? Is that what you would prefer?
Right.
So what if it's going to be a great series? The playoffs are supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be challenging. And again, it's going to happen on the other side of the draw as well. Montreal and Tampa Bay will play each other in the first round. They're better than Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, who will play each other in the first round, most likely. Like, it's not quite the same discrepancy, but the same type of thing is going to happen.
Well, and it ain't going back.
Probably not.
Probably not. Why would it?
Bedman likes it this way. I think they want the divisional matchups. They want to try to build the rivalries that way. I don't know. Then this, I'll be fair, this is the type of thing when I was probably 21, I would have been more worried about this. Now maybe I've just been watching sports most of my life. It's like, just
get in.
Okay, like,
it doesn't matter.
What was the playoff format in 1992 when the Penguins won? Who'd they play in the first round? What was the point differential? I don't remember. They won.
Mm-hmm.
What was it in 1998? I don't know.
Well, and look at what the Oilers did in 06. First round matchup against the number 1 Detroit Red Wings.
Right.
Upset them in 6. Right? It can happen. It's the playoffs.
So I'm kind of like, my theory is just enjoy that it could be a very good matchup. If, and it's, I'm just not worried about it being fair. I just think there are,
and Reid, this is also something I figured would come up. And Hula Boy Steve says it. I'd fix the point system before changing the playoff format. And that would be what? To go to because if you look at the Los Angeles Kings, they've got 34 wins. Well, 21 wins in regulation.
Right. So they'd have fewer 3-point wins if you went 3-2-1-0.
They'd be out of it.
Right.
If you were in a 3-2-1-0 point format.
Yeah. And I mean, look, they're not going to go 1-16 because of the travel. So
I don't know. It's like, why do things have to change? Why can't they just be the way they are? And as long as you're consistent year over year, then that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'd say enjoy Dallas and Minnesota in the first round.
Heck yeah. And don't. There's going to be years where this isn't the case, where the Central isn't dominating like they are this year.
Right.
It'll flip. It'll change. It always does. And then, the Central's going to be looking more like the Pacific. And, the Oilers are going to have to face a very talented Utah Mammoth team who they've been fighting back and forth with for number 1 all season.
Right.
It's just the way it goes. There's some things you just can't, but that's more than just hockey, Reid. There's some things you just can't change.
That's very true, Jay.
And
very profound.
And it's like, for me, I'm just like, I don't even really care to give a ounce of my energy towards this because what's the change? I'm not going to do anything. What's the point in moaning about it?
Well, when you're commissioner of the NHL,
Reid,
then you can do something about it.
I can't be. It would be too much of a conflict of interest with the EST. And I'm not a lawyer.
So anyway, that's my thing. I'm just like, you know what? Just enjoy the playoffs. Minnesota and Dallas should be a really good series.
Legendary.
And yeah, possibly.
I guess, you know what we're going to have to do this week is review our preseason.
Oh, we'll have to do that Thursday or Friday, yeah.
Predictions.
Probably Friday.
And then make our playoff predictions.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to do that on Friday. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Any sweeps that are coming your way, Reid?
Yep. 780-218-9999 is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the River Cree mobile app. It's free to download. You can get exclusive offers and promotions. You can get show tickets. You can make reservations for hotel rooms and restaurants. It's safe, secure, and it is easy to use. Okay, we got a little more discussion. We want to talk about year-end awards as well. More to preview the Oilers and the Avalanche coming up tonight. Here's the 5 o'clock break.
2 guys and a goalie.
Is he a 20-plus goal scorer moving forward? That would be some money that you could spend on a different type of player. But if you're just hoping to find somebody who's going to score 20 goals, Roslovic did that for you this year. He's an interesting study this offseason, that's for sure.
I mean, I think you could probably throw an offer sheet over St. Louis's way.
For Dylan Holloway.
Would you sign Dylan Holloway for the same 25
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit in the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
The Blue Jays are back for their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences or tackling backyard spring projects, get the space you need with Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Leon Drysdale hit the ice for the Oilers this morning and is expected to be back at some point in round 1 of the playoffs. Plus, Max Jones, he's out 3 to 4 weeks with a lower body injury. Jason Dickinson is a no-go for the final 2 games of the regular season. Zach Hyman will not play tonight against Colorado and is questionable for Thursday's season finale against Vancouver. 7:30 puck drop from Rogers Place. The Avalanche Oilers go at it. Connor Ingram starts. Ike Howard plays his first game since late January for the Oilers. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson. They set the table for the matchup during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. That goes live at 6:30 only on EST. 3 games get going momentarily in the NHL. Flyers, Hurricanes go at it. Philly looking to clinch a playoff spot tonight for the Raptors. Over in the NBA, Emmanuel Quickley out day to day with a hamstring strain. After leaving Toronto's season finale game against Brooklyn last night. Toronto-Cleveland matchup, round 1 NBA playoffs on Saturday. Jays News, Toronto has acquired Leonard Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich and another piece, either another player or cash considerations. More details to come. And with the move, Shane Bieber has been moved to the 60-day injured list. A trio of games live right now in MLB. Top of the 3rd, D-backs up 1-0 on the Orioles. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 3, the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Oilers and Avalanche tonight. The Avalanche are 52, 16, and 11. Goals for per game, 3.7. First in the NHL. Goals against per game, 2.47. First in the NHL. Oilers goals for, 3.44. That's sixth. Goals against, 27th, 3.29. The Oilers are 40, 30, and 10. Of course, the Oilers have clinched a playoff spot. We do not know where in the Pacific Division they will finish, nor who they will play in the first round. And quite frankly, we won't know that tonight either. But we'll go over the games in a couple of minutes. We're on location tomorrow. Where are we going to be? At the Bell in Scona. Great spot leading into the Kids Sport Bids for Kids event. So EST partnered up with Kids Sport. They do great work. Who else is going to be there? Mark Connolly and Gene Principe, part of it as well. Dustin and I will be part of the hot stove. There's a silent auction. I think the silent auction is already going online. It's a great event. You and I were there last year. They do a great job. It's a lot of fun, but it's for an important cause. We gave away some tickets last week, so we'll have some Nasties and EST listeners there, which will be pretty cool. So we'll see us at the Bell in Scona. We'll see you at the Bell in Scona tomorrow.
Great.
Doing the show from 3 to 6 and then hanging. Yeah, it was a lot of fun there. Really good. Good spot.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Oilers and Avalanche at 7:30, 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. The Avalanche have won 6 in a row on the road. They are 16-2-3 against the Pacific Division. The Oilers 12-7-4 against the Central. They are, of course, 1-1 against the Avalanche. But they lost 9-1, and then they had was it a 4-3 win or a 5-4 win when Ingram got hit by McKinnon there, got knocked out of the game. So
I forget to score. Good game.
That was a good game.
It was a very entertaining game.
That was, where is it here? Yeah, 4-3 for the Oilers. A rare loss for the Avalanche, who are coming off a 3-2 overtime loss to the Vegas Golden Knights. All right, portions of this hour presented by Lamley's, built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship, and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, featuring brands like Ariat Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performance across every job site. You can visit lamleys.com/work to see how Lamleys can make your workday better.
LAMMLES.
Reid, what do you think of this? This came in from Dave in Section T. During Game 2 of Kelowna at Everett, Tyler Halliburton of the Kelowna Rockets got dumped along the boards. His leg went up and his face hit the ice first. He was out cold instantly, obviously seriously injured. The cameras on Victory Plus, that's who covers WHL games,
right,
don't replay injuries, and the camera moved off the injured player early before the trainers got to the player. I had family at the game who reported that people were taking video with their cell phones during treatment and the eventual stretching of the player off the ice. My opinion is that rink security should step in to prevent people from taking that video or risk ejection. I don't
know how you stop.
This is like logistical good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's a couple, at least I look at it, there are a couple things to consider. The practicality of what he's saying. Can you really stop people from filming on their cell phone in public? Unfortunately, it's pretty difficult. I mean, I guess at the Masters, you can't bring your phone in. I don't know how that would fly at a Western Hockey League game. People might just say, well, I'm not going to go then.
Yeah.
I mean, the Masters, you might be like, well, it's once in a lifetime. I can put my phone away for 5 or 6 hours because I want to be there. WHL game, I don't know if the league would have that clout. So the practicality of that, or of asking people, please don't film injuries, I don't know how you would do that. I guess I don't know if it's a moral argument, somewhat of a moral argument, or maybe just a question where it could be like, why do you need to have this on your phone? Why do you need video of this? Why do you need video of this young man's maybe worst moment in his life and what could have been a really dangerous injury?
Well, I looked on Twitter. I couldn't find a video of the instance, so I'm not sure, if you're trying to protect that from getting out and getting public.
Right.
I would definitely agree with you, Reid, that is a major moral question to what's the point of all this?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of wanting to share this?
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, it was pretty gruesome, and the player's unconscious.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't know if I was there. Now, I don't know if I was there as a fan, if I would think, I better get this. Like, what do you want this for?
Reid, honestly, I would be almost embarrassed if I had my phone out pointing at that.
Yeah.
Like if I saw somebody doing that, I'd be embarrassed for them.
Yeah. Like, what do you, or like, I hate to be morbid here, but like, what are you hoping he dies on the ice and you have video of it? Or like, I don't know.
And
no, yes, I know if a game were televised, stuff gets shown. I get it. But
being junior hockey, it's different. This is not professional sports. These kids aren't getting paid for this. But that's, unfortunately, Dave in Section T, I think that's the unfortunate side of the world we live in, is social media and clicks and getting reaction. I mean, Yeg Wave is on X, and that's some of the worst instances in people's lives.
Right.
Or worst moments of their lives being put out as entertainment. Mm-hmm. To see somebody raging on the White Mud Freeway and going in and out of traffic. And, that's, unfortunately, people look for that stuff. So,
yeah.
But you're right, Reid. The actual practicality of that, I don't think there is an option there.
Yeah. It was, I will say this, it was kind of neat at the Masters just to see people watching, as opposed to see some of the other golf tournaments, guys putting out and everybody's hand is in the air holding up a cell phone.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
So your memory of it, your view of it will always be through a screen, because while you're holding up your cell phone, you're probably still peeking at it. And then you would be like, oh, great, I can go back and watch this. Well, here was my view of this. Yeah, but you weren't actually taking in that view. You were still watching it through a screen.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go back and see what it was like, if you're at the Masters and you want to see Rory putt out again, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube or PVR or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cover it very well.
This is, I understand cell phones are not going anywhere, and they are very convenient, and they can be certainly a life-saving or, assistance device and all that kind of stuff. But I do wonder, this is just my personal thing. We're kind of going off on a tangent here. And I hate if I sound too preachy, because of course I use my phone.
Sure.
But when I'm out in public, my first instinct is not, I better record and photograph everything. Of course, it's nice to always have a camera with you. If you and I went out for a nice dinner, maybe shared a banana split or something like that.
Take a selfie.
Maybe we'd be like,
us.
hey, you know what? We should take a picture of this. We're out doing something. But I'm not one of those people where it's like, okay, Jay, I'll take a picture of you ordering. Oh, now point to it. Oh, now here comes, I don't get that personally. I realize a lot of people do that. They put a lot of stuff on Instagram. So yeah, if I were watching a game, even as a reporter, I don't know if my first instinct would be, oh, this guy's hurt. Let's film it. Like, what? And if you're there as a fan, like, why do you need that, I guess?
Yeah.
Am I making any sense?
You are. You are. Full Farm Boy says that's because you're good people. You wouldn't video.
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know if everybody doing that is like, I hate to say, well, if you do that, you're a bad human being. But yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Dr. John says, I agree, Reid and Jay. I don't take my phone out at concerts anymore. I remember the experience way better by staying in the moment and soaking in the performance. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what are you here for?
Right.
Well, are you here so you can show this to somebody later that you were there? Oh, look where I was. I was at the Coldplay concert.
Yeah.
Or I was at AC/DC. When the big shows come to Commonwealth, you just know your timeline on Instagram, X, Facebook, whatever, is going to be inundated with, hey, we're at the show.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, it's like, and like, so Leopard was here last summer. I picked a couple moments where I was like, okay, I'm going to take some pictures. And I did want to have a little video just for posterity. But for most of the time, the large majority of the concert, my phone was in my pocket. When I thought, okay, you know what, hey, this looks cool. I'll try to snap a couple pictures, get a picture of Zip and I. Later on, I did take some video, but that was it. I wasn't always looking for video opportunities. I wanted to just take it in because things like that, it's kind of a fleeting experience anyway. And what you get on your phone will never match what you're feeling in that moment.
Never matches
Going back and watching it probably won't match what was in that moment. So you might as well be in that moment. And then you can share that emotion with people by telling them about it a little bit. I mean, sure, of course you might take pictures. That's part of life since we have photographs. But we've kind of gotten into a bigger picture discussion here about more than just this player unfortunately being injured at the hockey game.
I like taking pictures of things that are meaningful in my life and my family's life.
Right.
I come by it honestly. The nickname for my mom is Captain Kodak.
Nice.
I mean, she's been a photog her whole life. But yeah, I like to take pictures of things that, of memories so you can look back on them and be like, oh, I remember that day we did that. And, oh, remember, grandma dropped the gravy.
Yeah.
to talk about memories. But yeah, like this Coachella, is it still on or...
Was that going on right now?
I think it just wrapped up.
That's just a festival of phones.
No, it's hard to go to a concert nowadays because if you're in an actual pit setting, I guess, or everyone's on the same level, you're looking at the concert through a screen, even if you're not having a screen up yourself.
Right.
Because everyone in front of you loves to take video. Like I went to a concert with my buddy and he brought his little brother who's like 15, 16 years old.
Jablonski?
Yeah, Jablonski, basically. I wanted to call him Jablonski. Hey, Jablonski, get off your phone.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, right. But he was on the phone the entire time. I'm like, hey, buddy, you want to try to enjoy the concert here? You want to
that's
actually...
the thing. If you're just on it the entire time.
Yeah, quick Snapchat maybe.
This is getting to be one of those overplayed commercials, but the McDavid, George Springer, Tavares.
Oh, the 5.2 hours on the phone.
But it is, I mean, we've got generations of kids now where it's like they're not going to have anything else. And these are amazing. I mean, we look up stuff we'll do our little trivia and look up stuff during the day. And they are, I mean, great for a lot of situations. But like, how are you going to separate this from?
Well, it can be addictive. You can become addicted to your phone.
My phone
yeah.
Big time.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't just say, hey, I'm here in the present. I'm here now. Like Maximili says in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. I started putting my phone away, almost fully away when I'm with my friends. When I was younger, I spent so much time getting a Snapchat or something for Instagram that I missed out on all the good stories and laughs.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, sure, your phone has connected you to a lot of things, but what about the connection of being there in that moment?
I got to say, having this watch, this running watch, I get notifications to me for text and whatever.
Right.
But while you think, well, Jay, then you're just looking at your phone. No, I'm not. Because what it's allowed me is to keep my phone on vibrate all the time. I never have this on ring anymore.
Okay.
I lived with this thing on ring for many, many years running a business. You need it. So I find that really nice. And I have a time, like after 9 o'clock, I don't get anything. No notifications.
Well, that's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right? And anytime before 8, nothing.
Yeah, you get a buzz. You see the important one that you might.
I don't even get a buzz.
Oh.
It doesn't. I'm dead to the world.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, and you're usually with the people who most need you, and you would most want to communicate with.
I don't need much else.
So you don't need to worry about me texting you at 11 p.m.
Oh, I look forward.
Jay, should I open another beer? We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Skip the couch and get in the game at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every puck drop, every goal, every roar, ice cold drinks, wall-to-wall screens, and the best fans in town. The Canadian Brewhouse is the place to be. Yeah, absolutely. You can get the Oilers game there tonight. It is 7:30 against the Colorado Avalanche. Hyman out, questionable for Thursday. Drysdale out, hopefully returning sometime in the first round. Max Jones out 3 to 4 weeks. Jason Dickinson, status unknown, but he's not going to play in the regular season. So look for the Oilers to do this. McDavid with Podkolzin and Savoy. Nuge with Howard, who was freshly called up. And Roslovic, Szymanski with Doc and Frederick. Henrique with Lazar and Kapanen. On the blue line, Ekholm with Bouchard. Nurse with Murphy. Wallman with Emberson. Ingram in net. Wedgwood expected to be the goaltender for the Colorado Avalanche. Here comes the Coop.
Oilers notes Leon Drysdale skated this morning. He's expected to return to the Oilers lineup at some point in round one of the postseason. Max Jones, he's out 3 to 4 weeks with a lower body injury that forced him to leave Saturday's game in LA early. Jason Dickinson, he's a no-go for the final pair of games on Edmonton's schedule. Zach Hyman will not play tonight against the Avalanche and is questionable for Thursday's contest against Vancouver. At 7:30, Oilers, Avs. From Rogers Place, Connor Ingram starts. Ike Howard suits up in his first game since late January for the Oilers. Catch Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They tee up the action. Coverage starts at 6:30 only on EST. And live now in the NHL, Hurricanes up 1-0 on the Flyers. Panthers leading 1-0 over the Rangers, and the Lightning trail by 1 to the Red Wings. All those games midway through the opening frame. For the Raptors, Emmanuel Quickley, day-to-day hamstring strain for him after leaving Toronto's season finale against Brooklyn yesterday. Toronto and Cleveland matchup for round one of the NBA playoffs on Saturday. Jays News, they've acquired Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich and another piece. Either player or cash considerations in the move. Shane Bieber has been placed on this 60-day injured list. Live now in baseball, 5 games. Yankees up 2-0 on the Angels. Bottom first inning. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Goodwill is
One shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. That all starts with one.
The Oil Stream.
Let's start with the positive. He's on the ice. He's skating with the team, taking a full morning skate. That's good. And listening to what he had to say, listening to what Chris Knobloch had to say, because Knobloch said that he anticipates Drysdale's timeline to be sometime in round number 1. And then you listen to Leon, and he said it felt like it was something more serious than other stuff he's dealt with.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province. There has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery. All in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Love the thrill of competition, but prefer to keep it classy?
Well, it's as classy as you can get when Dustin Nielsen is the host.
Join us April 14th at Bell and Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bid for Kids, presented by GS Construction.
A night filled with special guests, auctions, and a ton of prizes in support of Kids Bar.
No whistles, no play clock,
just a room full of generous hearts.
EST's Bid for Kids. Get your tickets at kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Use promo code ESTBIDS for 10% off.
Jay films me on his phone the entire show, and then just shows it to Coop the Corgi. So Coop will watch it on YouTube and then get a different angle from your phone.
Yeah, he loves it. It's something that puts him to bed.
Yeah, he licks himself nonstop as he's watching the show. What? What, Coop?
Got a text, speaking of to my phone.
From Coop?
No, from my buddy McLean. He's chimed in before.
McLean.
He says, I want to see if Howard can replace Roslovic for much cheaper. Spend money in other places.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think more for the offseason, will Roslovic be brought back? I mean, I didn't think he would do this well. What's his full stats again? 21 goals, 15 assists, 36 points in 67 games. Not bad. I mean, he's scored some big goals, scored some nice goals. I think Roslovic's future with the Oilers, because what's the hang up with him? He's not been known as a good playoff performer, right?
But what do you have to pay him to keep him here? He's at 1.5 right now.
If he's asking for $4.5 million,
see you later.
Yeah, it might be.
And with that,
especially if he has a poor playoff.
Well, and there's going to be a giant anchor attached to his name for at least 2 or 3 of those years. So he's not going to be able to be moved. But I mean, you got Ike Howard locked up under $1 million.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be a great.
But Ken, is Howard going to be that good a scorer? I thought he might have the potential to be. We haven't really seen it this year.
Yeah, but I've always enjoyed watching how he plays. He seems to be around the puck a lot. Like he's confident. I mean, what is he doing right now with Bakersfield? He's 47 points, 22 goals in 45 games.
Yeah, that's good.
So he's doing well down there.
Yep.
I'd love to see him, because the Savoy story has been great.
Yes.
The rise of Matt Savoy has been worth the price of admission. That is another contract. I mean, he's at $886,000.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So the Oilers, yes, they'll have some options. I mean, they locked up Podkolzin for another 3 years after this year.
Is he at 18 goals?
19. No.
19 goals.
Sorry, 19 goals.
Chance to get 20. Pretty good. Great season for Podkolzin.
So the Oilers are going to have, if some of these players can come through, then yeah, that's a great. If they didn't have to re-sign Roslovic, that's a good thing, because that means you have depth and you have players that are moving up the lineup and filling those voids in terms of goals.
Szymanski's been another good story. I mean, maybe replacing somebody like Henrique down the road. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. They have the $21.99 prime rib special at Tap 25. Incredible deal. $21.99 prime rib special, available 7 days a week except show nights from 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night. And this is available for dine-in and takeout, rivercreeresort.com. Leon Drysdale did skate today. He did answer questions from the media horde, including our Tom Gazzola at Rogers Place. Drysdale talking about his availability.
I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, there's steps that I have to follow, and there's, certain things that I have to be able to do. And, I'm not there yet right now. So we'll see how that is by the end of the week, or whenever game one would be.
You've shown that you can play through stuff if you need to, but is this sort of one where you got to be careful too? You don't want to necessarily bang yourself up more?
Yeah, absolutely. There's certain things that you can play through, and other things that are just, you have to think about your future and the team's future a little bit. So I think our staff and our medical staff and myself, we know how to handle these situations, and we know when it's good to go and when it's not. And we'll just, like I said, take it one day at a time, and hopefully it works out.
Okay. We don't know.
We don't know, but we do know that Reid, he is a warrior. He's a tough guy.
Sure.
He's about as tough as they come. So as soon as he's ready, he'll be in the lineup. No question. It's not, I think that this is just something they just really need to watch so it doesn't re-aggravate. That would be the worst case scenario.
Oh, for sure. A little bit here from Knobloch on Jones and Dickinson.
Yeah, Jones will be out 3 to 4 weeks. Dickinson is can't really have a exact timeline, but he will not be playing these next 2 games, and then we'll reevaluate after the regular season's done.
All right. So I guess we'll see about Dickinson for the first game of the playoffs.
I'll stand by it. To me, that's a promising report on Jason Dickinson.
Okay.
Because Reid, when they announced what happened with Drysdale, it was 2 days later?
Yep.
Done for the regular season. And that blew everybody's hair back.
Yes.
Here, not having a timeline, I at least find that encouraging that, okay, there's hope for Jason Dickinson in the playoffs.
Right.
Hope. Because I think if he wasn't, maybe they would already have said he's not available for round 1. Something like along those lines.
780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. Haven't got a limerick yet today.
No.
Send us a limerick about no limericks.
Brilliant.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. If you haven't already, you can click the thumbs up button as well. We're well over 100 thumbs. We're at about, what are we at, 117? 160. Let's see if we can get at least to 130, at least.
Reid,
that's certainly doable.
I've got a question for you, and this might anger you.
Okay.
But
I can't wait.
I got to ask it, okay?
Yeah.
Have you ever known anybody in their profession that gets punished for being good and being part of a good company or a good organization?
Punished for being part of a good company.
Have you heard of that? Like let's say
I can't think of something off the top of my head.
You're doing a really good job. EST is growing, and you're a big part of it. We appreciate you, Reid, but we're going to have to suspend you for 3 weeks without pay. Does that ever happen?
I can't say I've ever heard of that.
Right. It just
doesn't. That's
doesn't
really weird.
It doesn't roll off the tongue easy. So why is Evan Bouchard being punished in this Norris race debate for playing with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl?
Is he being punished for that? Who said that?
By all accounts, Reid, he's not even going to make the final 3.
Okay.
That's and I mean there was a lot of clips over the weekend. Chris Pronger, Elliot Friedman, Kevin Bieksa, Pronger and Friedman threw their support behind Rasmus Dahlin,
who's a very good player.
Very good player. There's a lot of belief that, and I think Zach Rowensky,
who's
is going to probably win it.
Yes,
and Cale Makar is simply not out of the discussion.
Correct.
So nobody on that panel even discussed Bouchard. Very little mention. In those circles.
Okay. So you're asking me about, and this was brought up, I can't remember if we brought it up or Dusty and Eric were talking about it, but Greg Wyshynski used to say he would never vote for McDavid or Drysdale for Hart Trophy because they play together. Right.
Yeah, it's along those lines.
So you're asking me, does Bouchard's candidacy suffer by being a teammate of McDavid and Drysdale?
Right, because he's playing with such good players.
He's playing with such good players. How could he not get 91
points? You could put
points?
Lanny McDonald on the blue line.
A tree stump could get 80 points.
Exactly.
Playing on the blue line.
Is that fair?
On the Oilers. No, it's not fair. It's absurd, quite frankly. This is one thing that really irritates me, Jay. I don't think this player is that good because he plays with other good players. Well, maybe he's looking that good because he complements those good players and they all work well together. I mean, as frustrating as Bouchard can be sometimes, and let's face it, the last 3 quarters of his season has been quite good. I know he made a bad play against the LA Kings, got the puck stolen. But how many plays does Bouchard make where you think to yourself, well, what a pass. Oh, he was there. He was right where McDavid needed him to be on that power play. Well, that puck would have been cleared, but Bouchard got into the right place and kept it in or gave his teammate an outlet. You know, or he scored 21 goals where he's flat out beat a goaltender with his shot. So, I mean, I completely reject that argument that playing with other good players means that a player shouldn't win an individual award.
Well,
I mean, welcome to team sports. Yes, other good players are going to make other good players look better. Okay, could a player benefit from that? Sure, that's the whole point of having them play together. That's the whole point. Let me ask you this. Was Jerry Rice a great receiver?
One of the greatest.
How can you say that? He played with Joe Montana.
Right.
Joe Montana was a great quarterback.
I'm glad you said
How
that.
good was Rice, actually? How good was he? Don't you think he benefited from playing with Joe Montana? Throw his stats out the window. Or take 500 yards off his receiving totals, Jay. Those aren't legitimate.
Well,
because he had Joe Montana.
How much did Joe Montana benefit from throwing to one of the greatest receivers of all time?
Neither one of them was very good.
Joe Montana probably stinks.
They both stunk.
It's just that he had Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Joe Montana's a bum.
Like when you look at it that way, it's an absurd argument. Well, I can't vote for McDavid for the Hart because he has Drysdale. Well, I can't vote for Bouchard because he gets his points because of McDavid. But he's still getting the points. I mean, if it's that easy to be a defenseman and get power play points with McDavid and Drysdale, why didn't every other defenseman they've had on the power play produce at that level? You still have to be good to do it. Like I just sometimes it just gets. And look, I don't vote. The voting process is not perfect. We've been talking about it a lot more this year because there are a couple of Oilers players in serious contention for awards. But I just like, well, what is the fascination with finding ways to delegitimize the output of good players? Now, look, if you want to say Bouchard shouldn't win the Norris because you don't think he's a good enough all-around defenseman, and that's the definition of the award, hey, that's an interesting debate. We can get into that. If you're telling me that Bush's point totals should be disregarded because he plays with Connor McDavid, come on.
Well,
that's lunacy.
Points per game, Evan Bouchard's at 1.14 points per game.
It's very good.
Zach Werenski is at 1.09.
They're very good. Like they're both having awesome years.
But Zach Werenski, and Dusty and I were talking about this earlier, is the leading scorer on that team, on that Blue Jackets team.
Right.
That's why I think the odds heavily favor him to win that award.
And I predicted that he will. Again, I'm not saying how I would vote, but I've predicted that he will win, which I don't have a problem with because he's a great player.
Now, would this market, the finalists come out for the Norris Trophy, Evan Bouchard is not in the top 3. Would there be fires in marches in the streets, Reid? Do you think Oilers fans would feel...
Well, I think some would be upset. Yeah. I think Bouchard should be in the top 3. I think he should be in the top 3. I mean, if you're the leading defenseman point getter and he's not going to get to 100 points, but he's within gazing distance of 100 points, how do you not put him in your top 3? Like you're overthinking it.
So the definition for the Norris Trophy is awarded annually to the National Hockey League's top defense player who demonstrates throughout the season the greatest all-around ability in the position.
Right. And offense is a skill in hockey.
A big skill.
That all-round includes offense.
But it also includes defense, which is the name of the position you play.
Correct.
And I think that is something that Evan Bouchard simply can't have...
right, but everybody can
taken
agree
off of his evidence list.
Would not everybody agree that it's valuable to have a defenseman on your team who's good at offense and who can get a lot of points from the back end?
Absolutely.
That's very, very important.
Absolutely. Bouch is also plus 22. Cale Makar's plus 29. Werenski plus 8. So is Werenski getting the boost in this Norris race because he's pretty much carrying that team?
Yeah, probably.
So then
actually I'm fine with.
Well, I think that's kind of the definition of the award.
Yes.
Right? I don't know. It just seemed like that got a lot of buzz this weekend on Hockey Night in Canada. And then, I didn't really think Rasmus Dahlin was really in the conversation for this, but now he seems...
Apparently is now.
Well, when people like Elliot Friedman and Chris Pronger are saying that, well, guess what? He is.
Right. So like Dan puts this in the chat. He may be one of the best offensive defensemen. I'm not so sure he is one of the best defensive defensemen, but that's what this comes down to. And the award is best all round. Like if there was, let's say there was a defenseman who had all year long, he got 5 assists, but he played 22 minutes a game and blocked 180 shots and was never scored on. Should he win the Norris Trophy? I would say no, because he's demonstrated he can't play offense. Mm-hmm. That all around, he has virtually no offensive skill. He might be the best pure defender, because not getting scored on is pretty good. But he can't do anything offensively, so therefore he's not the best all around. Okay, so here's the thing. If you say offense and defense are 50-50, Evan Bouchard wins the offensive side of the debate for the Norris. He flat out wins it.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
He would. Werenski's a close second with what he's done in Columbus.
Fair. That's why I think Werenski's going to win.
Well, and the problem also is that there's not a statistic really outside of plus minus that you can look at to measure your defensive capabilities.
You can look at turnovers,
It's a lot of eye
giveaways,
test.
goals against, whether you're on the PK or not. But that's why it's up to the individual voters. So that's why I say I can't speak to how people are going to vote. You can tell me how you're going to vote. If you don't think Bouchard could win it, that's fine. I'm just saying to say he's not a high-ranking candidate, I don't know how you defend that argument. Pat, I don't know what you're talking about. Jari should get the Vezina then if that's what you're saying, LOL. I don't know what I possibly have said that would be related to Tristan Jari and the Vezina trophy in any of this discussion. Pat, I'm sorry. I know you're a loyal listener, but I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe that's directed at somebody else. I really don't.
El Presidente says, but realistically, you could say the same thing about Makar. He must have been voice to text because it says my car.
He's got a nice car.
Yeah, because he has to play with McKinnon, but you don't hear that argument ever. If that is the argument they're making. Ian says, but past D-Man won because of the points alone. That's why people are frustrated. Because if this was by points alone, Evan Bouchard is running away with it.
Right. But this is the voters can change what they want to do every year. Like this is what I'm telling people. Don't expect logic from an illogical situation. Sometimes you just have to accept it and accept that it's going to work differently in other people's minds than how it does in your mind. And that's just the way it is. I don't know what else to say.
Well, it's his defensive play, Reid. That's what's keeping him out of this conversation. Points is one thing, but his defensive gaffes are just too hard to overlook.
But here's the thing. This year, have they been?
Start of the year, they were terrible.
Okay.
They were nice.
But how much of how he's played in previous years is factoring into this year's evaluation?
I don't know. I can't say. I would imagine that you can't just remove it from your thought process.
Anything that happened before this year should not factor into this year's
exactly,
voting.
But the start of this year looked a lot like this doesn't factor in playoff Bouchard.
No.
Right?
No, it doesn't.
So, okay, then that should be not a factor, and so should prior years. I just don't think that's the case.
Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today or go to playalberta.ca. Jay's Play of the Day is for Park Colson to get a point. This is a fun discussion. It really gets people fired up.
Fantastic.
The old Bouchard for the Norris. I will say this. If he got it, I would be happy for him.
Why wouldn't you be? Yeah, so it's an honor.
Yeah.
He's not going to get it.
I don't think he'll get it, but I definitely think he's a candidate. I think if he's not in the top 5, that's really silly, and I think he should be in the top 3.
If he's not in the top 3, are you going to go off on a rant about the voting process?
I don't know.
And
Maybe
the voters.
I don't know. Maybe
I'd
we'll see.
love it. I'm here for it.
All right, we're late into the break, and then we got words of the day.
Edmonton's Leon Drysdale skated today for the Oilers. He's expected to be back at some point in round 1 of the playoffs. No Max Jones for 3 to 4 weeks. He's out with a lower body injury, and Jason Dickinson will not play the final 2 games of the season. Zach Hyman won't dress tonight against Colorado. He's also questionable for Thursday's season finale against Vancouver. At 7:30, puck drop between the Oilers and Avs from Rogers Place. Connor Ingram starts. Ike Howard suits up in his first game since late January. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame shows. They tee up the action. 6:30, they hit the airwaves right here on EST. Live now in the NHL, 4 games. First intermission, 2-0 lead for the Hurricanes over the Flyers. If Philly wins this one, they will clinch a playoff spot. Panthers a 2-1 lead over the Rangers in Jonathan Quick's final start of his career there for New York. For the Raptors, Emmanuel Quickly, he's out day-to-day hamstring strain after leaving Toronto's season finale against Brooklyn last night. Toronto-Cleveland matchup for round 1 starting on Saturday. Jays News Toronto, they've acquired Lennon Sosa from the White Sox in exchange for Jordan Rich. Earlier today, they made this move, another piece to head Chicago's way, either player or cash considerations, and after making the move, Shane Bieber has been placed on the 60-day injured list. Live now in baseball, handful of games underway. Top of the 5th, D-backs up 4-1 over the Orioles. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Very interesting discussion on the panel this past Saturday between Chris Pronger, Elliot Friedman, and Kevin Biek, talking about the Norris. I'll start with Chris Pronger. He said he has Rasmus Dahlin 1. Elliot Friedman says he has Rasmus Dahlin 1. Kevin Biek said we shouldn't look so much at their offensive numbers. It's for all around.
Yeah.
Then he goes on to say Makar's the only guy on that list, and they listed, I think, 8 guys that kills penalty, which is completely incorrect.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit in the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Must you click?
All right, words of the day presented by the Edmonton Public Library. Your free EPL library card can do more than you might expect, from books, movies, and video games to digital resources, creative spaces, and learning opportunities. There's something for everyone across Edmonton. Sign up online at epl.ca/signup or visit any of EPL's 21 locations
The
to
word
get
of the
started
day
today.
with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, first word of the day, cessation. And by the way, this is Words of the Day, Abutski edition number 12. First word of the day, cessation.
cessation. And it simply means the ceasing of, the stopping of.
You mean business today,
Off and
baby.
running. Well, we don't have a lot of time either.
A temporary
Can't
or
think
final
about it.
stopping, pause, or end of action, condition, or activity.
Okay.
Second word of the day, prescient. Prescient.
Prescient. And I think this relates something said in the past that turns out to be true in the present. Sort of like almost like a prediction that comes true.
Dun, da, da, da.
4 for 4. Prescient. Having or showing knowledge of events before they occur, characterized by foresight or prophetic insight.
Yes. Like it'll be prescient of Jay that Bud Colson gets a point tonight.
Help.
All right. 6:30, the live stream resumes with Tom Gazzola at GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show leading into the Oilers and Avs at 7:30. Then Tom on after the game to break it down. I'll be joining him for Reid's Read, presented by Ewell. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Enjoy the game.